taking on ASAKURA. And well, 7 Jesu is Grandmaster Monkey King. This guy, he's played a lot of Monkey.
Oh yeah, he's in his comfort zone right now. And speaking of comfort zone, did you see Weaver's last 20 games? Pretty impressive stats on that one. 17-3 in his last 20 games on Weaver. That's a damn hefty win rate right there. Slimy happy to play this one. Of course, it's going to be the experience, the hive mind bugs coming out, taking some experience. Always fun to play Weaver against Tiny. Tiny cannot kill the bug in time. Like, you put it on him, it's just guaranteed XP. You know, his slow attack speed, he doesn't even want to try to attack it.
Was Weaver one of the... You said you were practicing initiation floors, right? So probably Weaver wasn't.
I played Weaver too, but yeah, I primarily played like Lion, Rasta, played some Murta, you know, back when that was also strong. Now I think Murta is pretty underwhelming as a support, actually, even though she got the new Aghanim's. Yeah, the Aghanim's is fun. It's great when you have it, but her impact early game is so much weaker ever since they took away the attack speed slow on W. The calling doesn't slow attack speed, so people just stand in it and do not care. If you stand in the center, you're literally unaffected by the calling.
Okay.
That really hurts her. You see a smoke up onto the ramp. Ooh,
split the middle.
Yeah, they really thread the needle on this one as we have aim possible, kind of wrapping on both sides around them. Insane that both teams didn't break there.
Okay, very awkward position. They're going to try now group together, but Serenata should intercept Baja before he gets to the rest of the team. They will pop out with a decent reflection. The Fatal Bonds, I don't know if you can fight into this now. It's going to make it difficult. They are all trapped. TP's gone. This is not looking good. It's a 5v fight bloodbath to start our game 1. Let's just have as many kills as we can get. Oh my lord. 5 members gone. The horn hasn't even sounded.
Dude, Weaver's almost level 2 from that fight because he put the bugs on so many people. Tiny had it on him until the very end. That's insane. Look at the XP on the other heroes who were there for the same kills. Meanwhile, Weaver almost got level 2, man. That is really impactful.
I was so lost, I didn't know where to look. It was too early. I couldn't, like, remember which team had what spells and everything.
I mean, they did really get mixed in there. Everybody, you know, kind of found themselves surrounded. Focusing TB quickly there was a great call. They managed to get the first spot before dropping Monkey King, and then they end up just fighting a little bit stronger with the help of the bugs.
That's so crazy though. Reflection, Tag Team, and Fatal Bonds are such incredible level 1 spells, and you only got 2 kills.
Yeah, it was a difficult brawl actually for them. I think a lot of it came down to the position. Like, while they looked a bit surrounded on the side of ASAKURA, they actually were very concentrated to be able to burst the TB so fast.
Well, that's a bit of a fun way to start top lane. It's like Warlock's going to be chased down. This is going to be pretty difficult for IDAR to play. I mean, a lot of it I think will come off the back of Rubicon, who does get a nice return kill. So that is definitely something. I mean, Warlock you've got Gush and Bugs. How are you going to protect yourself? But maybe just Fatal Bondsing the waves and having the Slark playing aggressively to prevent them going on the support is going to be the big thing for his life.
Yeah, I think he has to try and just deward the small camp and play towards that alone. Slark should be doing pretty well overall, as long as Weaver isn't harassing him too much. Yeah, Idar has to be careful about his positioning, not to get too far out. Again, Warlock, very slow hero. Slark off to a great start. 2 permanent agi stolen already. Has his gloves of attack speed as well, so can really lay into a Tidehunter.
Bottom lane. 7 Jesu forced to man fight, stuck inside the shards. And with the first use of the metamorphosis here, Koval will go down, so there's some a little bit of int for Silencer to play with.
He fights back the best he can, but TB is still going to be very happy with this. He gets some time to CS without Monkey being there. As I say that, the Silencer manages to deny him.
It's a cool Silencer set.
Yeah, it's nice. There are a lot of good silencer sets for as rare as we see him. Zero's got some good cosmetics. It's already level 3 now, since he got a bit of solo experience. Got the level 2 curse ready.
There's a very early level 3's Weaver as well, along with the Tide. But you have to imagine with the brawl that we saw to start the game, that probably will continue to the side lanes as well with all the extra abilities we're going to be able to play with. Slimeo, this should be a kill. We're gonna get some more action. Rubicon should be able to stand his ground. He's got the one charges to work with. Be able to feast onto the Tide Hunter, deal with the bugs next as well.
That was a good sentry from the Warlock. He had a sentry with him, puts it in the Lotus pool. Weaver thought he could just stand Invis in the pool and hold it long enough for Tide to get over, but Slark just started attacking him during the Invis, and that meant he just went down too early. You gotta be careful about this, by the way. Feeding kills in a Warlock lane, not acceptable. Due to the reason that his Black Grimoire already building his book is really, really big. He has 5 charges already due to his aggressive game. The experience you will get from this is massive. Ooh, mid lane. Toss back. Quite a bit of damage, but he's fine, of course. Got the magic 6 still.
Top lane, I'm Rubicon trying to deal with the bugs. Okay, he's alright. Yeah, I do want to go mid because we've seen a lot of action in the side lane. So how this is shaping up at the moment? It's looking quite even in regards to the last hits.
Yeah, looks like Pango is doing fine, but not really what you would expect when you last pick something into the Tiny. You kind of want them to be doing even better. Overall, though, they did pick Pango primarily for a team fighting and a ganking possibility. So we'll see what he can get done when he starts getting active and leaving the lane later on. He did get Water Rune denied by Tusk going and checking the rune, so he has to make a trip back to base, refill, and TP out.
Oh, yes. Unfortunate, no support can sacrifice their life and TP in to refill the bottle. What a shame.
What a shame indeed. No cheese for you. No bottle refills.
Alright, buddy, you'll be fine.
He's gonna be back to farming. He'll be okay on the mid lane, but that does mean that Pango doesn't have TP reaction right now, even though he's close to hitting level 6. He cannot TP to our side and help out.
Up lane, Rubicon. Starting to see a little bit of essence against the Tide Hunter. Slimeo feels strong to be able to fight back.
Rubicon still holding that Fairy Fire. Last second. And with the heal from Warlock, this should be a positive trade for them. Oh, they saw the Silencer come around with the ward on the gate.
Okay.
For Vanilli.
And now 7 Jesu is alone. Another round of the Metamorphosis to work with. Only 1 point in the tag team, but that is plenty to be able to assist. And I mean, this is just great usage of the advantage. And now, yeah, Slimeo. They got him.
Yeah, he went in, but dropping kills left, right, and center here. Ain't possible. Finding these pickoffs. All that came from the ward they had top, by the way. They saw the Silencer leave bottom, so they play aggressive bottom, and they kill Silencer top. Now, using the TP to push a bit.
A little bit of damage. They're actually going to TP the Weaver down bottom as well, so... You see what Slimeo was able to do with this. The issue is now Tide is solo, so you're giving free farm over to Rubicon. You're late to be able to get the power rune as well. I guess Serenata at least got it, so it's not the Tiny moving across the map with a potential invis or DD.
I think they're already accepting that top lane is like a lost cause. The Slark pick was picked to counter the Tide in lane, and it's achieving just that. Slimeo has been caught out. The shards are blocking him.
He could have Rock, surely. Black Grimoire's coming up. Oh, they're going to be able to blow him up before he could activate it for the Rock, so that's a pretty big kill for them to find to assist with getting the Wisdom. And now 7 Jesu's going to be able to stalk Koval away, just making sure that no one else is looking to run up the high ground to potentially take the fight and aim possible. Well, this has been a good start to the lane for them. They got the kill advantage. Yes, you got the Slark free farming top lane, but that is a nice, at least small victory for ASAKURA.
Yeah. That's a tough moment for Idar there on his Warlock going a little bit too close. Oh, as they TP in, they're TPing into a Pango with ulti ready.
I don't think the TB though, it looks like they won't.
Already got the pick off on Tusk though. And he's thinking about moving over. Doesn't have too much resources though. Pretty low on mana. Finally, Warlock comes down bottom again, has that ulti ready. He did pop the Grimoire now, so he's level 7. Very high level on this support, 7.5. He's currently the highest experience in the game, by the way, ahead of the mid laners.
That's crazy, actually. Oh, see what he's going to be able to do with the rock.
Yeah, he
Big
wants to pick
potential.
off Silencer, maybe?
No. We want Jesu. Silencer, it's going to be... well, okay. Ask. He was thinking about it.
Yeah. I mean, you just want to get the golem used as well. So that you can push.
Alright.
Oh, cuts the tree with it.
It's kind of forced, though. That gets some
It's
TPs
working.
down, but they're a little bit too late. Yeah, it will work in the end. And Baha's here with a haste rune, so... intercepts the escape from the Silencer. Tide doesn't want to come with a threat of Ravage. Serenada not looking to show up as well.
Monkey caught idling a bit there. 7 Jesus staying on a tree against a Warlock who already pump faked his ulti once. You know that he wants to pull that trigger, so overstaying a little bit. And tower does fall very quickly to Golem plus TV. Oh, there's
That
the
is
TP
a
out. Very optimistic.
super ambitious TP. What?
Maybe Monkey doesn't have stun. The
Is he gonna
Ravage,
live?
the little stun.
Okay, they're running away from him. I guess not much the TP is going to be able to do, but apparently...
Monkey wants
Oh,
him.
you got-
He's chasing.
Yeah.
Can you reach him?
We'll get
though?
him.
This takes
Can
a
I?
while.
Oh my god. Nice
I should
tips.
get him. That's good. Monkey needed this quite desperately. He wasn't having the best game, to say the least. He was 0 and 4. Sure, 6 assists, but assist is not really what you're looking for when you're playing as a carry Monkey wanting to get big and strong.
Jesus, talking about big and strong, Rubicon is massive on this log.
10 minutes. Has Diffu already, and he has more items. Almost the corrosion coming out now. Yeah, Tidehunter has literally no place in this game anymore apart from jungle. The moment Diffu is up on Slark, it's just a nightmare to play Tidehunter.
Global silence in the mid lane, but it's too late. Mass tips over towards Serenada with a nuke from Baha. We're able to get rid of him with ease.
Yeah, pushing towards mid now. They have a catapult. Let's see if they want to try and keep this alive. Would probably need to bring the TB if they really want to push tower, but without meta, I doubt that they're gonna commit for this. And meanwhile, top being pinged a bit. The Slark already making his intentions clear. He used the Diffu, running at the Tide. It takes a while to kill Tidehunter though. You gotta chase him for a while, and under tower, he kind of has to commit ulti if he wants to go for it, and then he is susceptible to dying to a Monkey King TP.
Yeah, I was just looking at like how the Slark dies this game, and like it's maybe into a wand ravage, boundless, and rolling thunder out of the trees, right? It is definitely a bit of a committal, but
I can tell
thing
you
is,
how he dies. It's hubris. That's how he dies. The Slark in this game.
True. But like the diffusal is very cool. Like I know this is a common item. Sometimes we get Echo, sometimes we get Mage Slayer. I don't know. Like the first item can be a little bit different, but the diffusal of this game, like you're saying, like it's the Tide gets nothing, which means that it also gives you potential to be able to get involved in the early game fights because we're getting a lot of fights at the moment. But also just if you go Echo, I don't know if you zone the Tide away as much as what you would with a diffusal.
No, I agree. It's definitely quite strong, and keep in mind, it also doesn't play that poorly later on. If you upgrade this into a disperser, you're playing against a silencer. You know, if you ever mistime your Dark Pact or whatever, and you find yourself silenced, you can just dispel that quickly. It'll be so annoying for the silencer to deal with. That's of course down the road quite a bit, but you like having as many survivability tools as possible when you play Slark.
Oh,
Internet
dude,
drop.
Serenata, I love that. He dies mid lane, they triple tip him, and then his opponent, the Baha, disconnects, so he just drops the question mark. He's maybe the mental. We'll see where it's at.
This is proper pub all chatting, you know, just a question mark. No, no actual question, just a question mark.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll have Baha coming back. Too bad he disconnected. He's so far doing really great in this game on the Tiny. 2-0 and 2. Has been farming up quite a bit.
I think it's nice that at least we get to see a game where Impossible, like, you're not getting completely blown out of the water like we saw yesterday, right?
Yeah.
What was it? 30. They were both with 31 minutes, 52 seconds. Game one,
Yep.
31 minutes, 45 seconds. Game two. So it was just we didn't get to see them.
No, and most of those game durations was them just having to sit there and say, okay, we can't fight because we have been on the back foot this entire time. Now we see them on the on the front feet. They're looking forward and they have a lot of plans for this game. They already took the bottom tier 1 tower and we see them having a fantastic time on Slark. This is their game right now. They're running the show and it's ASAKURA who have to break the momentum of this game somehow. I think this is kind of tough to say, but I think they got to find a way to activate the Ravage and take a team fight around Tide. But with him getting mana burned in lane by Slark like this, he just would have to run all the way to base and then TP somewhere and then hope that that's a fight.
Yeah.
It's a lot, man. It's tricky right now.
Yeah. So then what do you do? How do you play the map for ASAKURA? Like with the current state, are you looking to prioritize defending your tier 1 tower? Are you trying to like just secure a little portion of the map like your triangle so the Tide can farm there or the Pengo can get close to the Fusel? Like kind of what is the game plan from them when you're playing with this deficit?
I think they do need to play towards what they have drafted. They have 5 big teamfight ultis. Sure, they just used the global silence, but I think they got to find the Pango, Monkey King, and Tide sort of combining these spells to try and do something. Maybe break the Slark's game a little bit to try and find a wraparound on him. I think overall congregating towards the top lane is going to be the play. But short term, it's more try and defend mid tower, make sure you don't drop that.
Well, I don't know if you've seen, but this is a Radiance Monkey we apparently have. If I do remember correctly, I haven't casted 7 Gesture in a while, but I think he is one of the people that like to go the Radiance Monkey. So firstly, like initial thoughts, like what? How do we feel about this?
I mean, yeah, it's not a bad item. It gets better the more blink daggers your opponents have. In this game, there's going to be blink on the Tiny and on Tusk. I can elaborate on that a little bit. It's because the Radiance, of course, gets echoed into your clones in the Wukong's command. So you have a massive Radiance when you put on the ulti, basically. It doesn't stack to do multiple instances of damage, but you do have a huge AoE where enemies cannot blink. On top of that, the evasion is going to be really good against the Slark and against the TB. The only downside is that reflection is available, so he's probably going to get that Radiance turned onto himself quite a bit. I'm not sure that I love the Radiance first. I think that we've seen a lot of success from Maelstrom builds and Mjolnir builds lately, and I kind of feel like that's the safer option. But I don't mind seeing this.
Yeah, it's definitely the more riskier build, which is, can you even go for something like that in this game in particular when you are playing with such a large of a deficit? Like, it seems like you kind of need your Monkey King to be online as early as possible.
Yeah, that's probably the most concerning part, that they are absolutely not having a game on the Tidehunter, so you need to step up on the other cores and shine a little bit more. I guess no better way to shine than having a Radiance equipped, though. But it's a long journey until he gets it.
I know we were mentioning, I brought up yesterday the mechanic as well with the TB reflection and the shard. I just wanted to double check while we have this pause on if it does still work, and it does. So the shard attack speed actually works on the reflection illusion. So I was just looking at that one because I saw he had the shard already queued up after the orchid.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, I mean, that's a nice little bonus, but also just the shard is too busted. The amount of movement
Yeah,
speed you get on your
yeah.
main hero. Try killing a TB when he has shard. He just runs around like an absolute lunatic. Um, it's so hard to stop him. So once he gets that, not only is he fast and hard to catch, but the farm rate that he gets from the attack speed is just nuts.
Yeah, it's a I don't know. It's an incredibly stupid shard.
Yeah,
It
some
took a
charts
while,
are just kind of crazy, you know. This was definitely one of those charts that got over buffed, like over and over and
Yes.
over. It feels like sometimes we have Valve kind of nudging a shard, you know, buffing something like players. Come on, look at it. They did that like 4 or 5 times, and now it's like, wait, it's not just good anymore; it's busted.
It takes a bit, doesn't it? So, what are some other ones? What would you say, like a couple that come to mind where you're like, God damn, this shard's pretty. It's not bad.
I mean, yeah, the recent one would be Tidehunter before the nerfs, right? It was
Yeah, true.
absolutely insane, and then they just cut it down. Another one that I think has like timeless value is the Slark Shard. I think it's in any game you play, having Slark Shard can just be a turnaround in a team fight. It can be so impactful. Um, and allows him to play a bit more aggressive for himself. Even if you're not saving someone else, you can just have a double ulti essentially.
It's crazy that these heroes used to play used to play Dota without these shards. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It seems like how could Tide play this without the extra sun? Like that was the big thing. The one of his biggest weaknesses was not having like any little form of control, or like how was the Slark able to be so aggressive inside some of the fights without having like an extra shadow dance as well. But they were able to make it work back in the day.
Yeah, I mean, it's the overall power creep of the game. Dota heroes are so much more powerful and a little bit more customizable now. Choosing different facets, choosing if you want to go shard or not. You have a lot of choices. I'm always a big fan of more authority to the players to make creative choices, like which build should I go for, what facet do I play, how do I do this. I
Yep.
wish we would reach a little bit more balance though in terms of, you know, not just having a no brain, this is always the best facet on this hero, but have more heroes where, oh, you can do either or, right? Like both are options.
Yes, I agree. I think that is like the most important thing as a for a lot, right? For probably viewers, for the players as well, just so it's something that doesn't get stale. I think for the integrity of the game too. Like it just
Yeah.
keeps everyone theorizing on other alternatives to like counter heroes or counter metas or whatever.
It is difficult though, because if you look at like statistics and look at 1,000 games, you see one of them has like a 52% win rate,
Yeah.
and the other one is, you know, a 50% win rate. Then you guys say, oh, this one has 2% more win rate. Obviously, this one is winning more, and those small differences they add up. So people just look at, you know, which one seems to be more effective overall a lot of the time. Which I wish we had more customizing for a specific game you're in. Like, oh, here it makes sense to be this.
Mhm. But with that being said, it does kind of seem like we are. Oh,
Yeah, okay. Just a random little sim. Yeah, the pub mentality set in there. Just the F9 key. To go back to something you said earlier about, you know, which other things were overbuffed to the point that suddenly it was busted. One thing that comes to mind is the time zone, right? On Faces Void.
oh yeah,
It was
yeah,
buffed and buffed and buffed, and then suddenly it's so buffed that everyone was playing it, and then they just gutted it in the most recent patch, taking away the leash and also nerfing the slow factor on it. I think it was weird to me that they decided to just slash it like that after
It's sad.
repeatedly buffing it so much.
Yeah, yeah. It's even I bought a bun. I bought like the Mjolnir item for him,
Oh yeah, yeah,
and what I got another set too because I was like I saw this time zone. I'm like, dude, this looks fun to play. I want to mess around, play a little bit with him, and then it gets nerfed. It's like okay, never mind, I won't play.
yeah. I mean, now I think Void is pretty much dead because Chronosphere was already a pretty low win rate. Fast as people weren't playing much, and the only way he was good was with the time zone. Now I would not recommend picking that at all. If the enemy buy literally any force staff, or if they have any mobility spell, you just can't do anything. It's back to square one for Void.
Sorry, buddy.
Yeah. Well, he had his like month, 2 months of being relevant, I guess.
Yeah, but I feel like, okay, I unfortunately wasn't able to watch as many of the like Faceless Void 4 and offlane games that we were getting, but yeah, it's still, at least the games that I did see when it was getting played, I feel like I wasn't noticing the synergy as much with like the cooldown acceleration inside the time zone. Like I feel like there is still a lot that, because these are mechanics that we never really see, right? I mean, the cooldown acceleration is a massive one. Like that, we don't have that. Okay, Octarine, sure, cooldown like reduction, but nothing like this. Nothing to this extreme.
Not 400% acceleration. Yeah. I actually messed around a lot with that. The cooldown acceleration stacks with itself, so you can have 800% if you have refresher. It doesn't become 16.
What do you mean?
It doesn't become 1600.
Okay, sorry, I understand. Yeah.
Yeah, if you put two time zones down at the same time, that's 800% acceleration on your cooldowns, which is kind of crazy with some things. Like you can obviously do some absolutely wild stuff during that, but then there's also like the argument: should you really put down 2 time zones instead of just doing them back to back? It's a little bit nicer. Now that they don't leash anyway, though, you might as well slap both at the same time, I guess.
True.
If the enemy are going to leave, they just leave.
Yeah, but so there still could be some interesting things, right? Where you have like time zone plus, I don't know if you would ever have like a Void and a Mars on the same team, but at least you're that form, like a Faceless Void and a Puck or something, like someone to at least lock them in the time zone. And I still think we're probably, again, going to need a couple patches for this to be something that people are looking at, but again, it's just mechanics that we really do not have in anyone else. No one else can provide this in the game, so it'll take a little bit of more time to think about some strategies and heroes to combine with.
I think the interesting thing, like Void always benefits from the time zone cooldown acceleration himself, because he always finds himself in his own ulti. So you get the double time dilation very easily, and you can time walk nonstop. But you really got to get your heroes in there. Like, you want teammates who can get into a time zone so they can benefit as well. And one of the heroes that I find is the best is like Queen of Pain. Queen of Pain blinking into a time zone with an Aghanim Scepter. She suddenly has 1 Shadow Strike every second, because it's 400% acceleration, 4-second cooldown on the Shadow Strike. With an Aghanims, that's a 1-second cooldown on slapping a Shadow Strike on everybody that you can reach, which turns into some massive DPS. If you, of course, double time zone, you have a 0.25-second cooldown Shadow Strike, which with Aghanims can lead to some absurd numbers of damage. I think I put 2 time zones down and had heroes nearby. Queen did like 8,000 damage during the 2 time zones just by spamming Q and E.
God damn, that's crazy. Actually,
8,000 to every individual hero. That's some scary amount of damage in rapid time. But yeah, there are some busted things. Another classic, I think, is the Dazzle with his Poison Touch facet and spamming Aghanim's healing waves. He automatically like rehexes everyone repeatedly. So it's a full chain stun basically.
Oh, that's. Does it count if the Nothal projection is inside then? Is
Yes, the Nothal projection, if it walks into time zone, will get the acceleration itself.
Ah, interesting.
Yeah, the Nothal projection is such a weird spell in a lot of ways, but it is really, really nasty. You always get worried when I remember. Like, people at first playing against Dazzle, they were like, oh, we'll just pick Mars and we'll block him from having vision for saving his teammates. And then he just slides in the Nothal projection in there. It just walks through the arena and graves someone. Like, oh, yeah, never mind. The vision block doesn't matter when he just walks through the barrier.
That's sick. I don't know why I couldn't see what the admin said.
So admin said aim possible is out of pause time, and they have to resume the match unless ASAKURA is okay with waiting more. So now basically it's on ASAKURA to to give up their time if they want to wait for Tiny. And I think this is the correct response. This is a classy response from ASAKURA. They say we'll wait 3 minutes, which is not using their entire time. Because why would you waste your entire pause time reserved for your opponents? That's just unreasonable. But they do a sportsman-like thing and give a little bit of their pause. Hopefully we'll get Tiny back here.
Well,
yeah, looks like we might have a 4v5 here if he doesn't get his internet back soon. They did say his internet crashed on Tiny, so this is a tough one. Doesn't he have, you know, some mobile data he can hook up? I remember a lot of players in the past, they lose their internet, just gotta shoot up the... Oh, he's back!
Let's go,
Huge.
Baha!
Alright, big.
Alright, where the hell were we? If we remember, so Baha, they killed the Pango and then triple tipped him, and then Baha DC'd and made us wait for 15 minutes. So
global silence got wasted. Oh no!
You were doing very
they say go and then he disconnects immediately.
No!
Vladek immediately says 1 minute. Yeah. Hopefully this is just a little stutter and that he will come back again. But I fear for the worst, Aries.
why do we DC now on Pango? You had literally 15 minutes to DC. What happened now while the game was paused?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's both him and the Tiny that are missing now.
Yeah.
And then the TB suggesting go 4v4.
Alright, Serenade is back, but now we're back to waiting for Baha. So
yeah, I mean, he says go when ready, but impossible or out of pause time. So if you're the ones who want to go, Vladek, then you're the ones who hit F9 right now. I don't think Impossible want to press F9, but they don't really have a choice. The admins have ruled it. They are out of time, so ASAKURA, all you need to do is press that F9 if you want to go. And no one can really blame you. Yeah, admin should reaffirm them here, I guess. They don't want to be wrong in what they're doing.
yeah.
Always tough when stuff like this happens, especially when they had such a good start on Impossible. 1 minute left on 3 minutes. Yeah, they're just gonna go.
What can you do?
Yeah, I mean,
it is what
you
it
can't
is.
blame them. They gave a little bit of their extra pause time. They were sportsman-like. Just gotta get the show on the road. Time to micro.
Oh, it's funny watching the Tiny who's micro. He ran up under tower range, grabbed the tree, and just stood under the tower for like a couple of seconds.
That was his last command, you know. Well, think of it like this. If you're playing Warlock, you're already used to microing a golem. Tiny is a literal stone golem.
Yeah,
so this is basically just like
such a
Warlock.
reach. It's such a reach.
It's
but
the
okay.
same. It's identical, Harris.
Bro, Tiny has spells. The golem doesn't. You just A-click on the ground.
Surely that should just be easier. Your golem doesn't even have spells. Okay, meanwhile,
apparently Tide's dead solo. How does that happen though? How do you die solo? Sure, like no TPs?
Yeah, we saw before the pause that Slark was diving the Tide, and I said that this is a dangerous dive if the Monkey TP's top, but Monkey did not react in TP, so Slark just committed, went in, used his ulti, so pretty aggressive move, but Tidehunter just goes down to the Slark. Yeah.
I didn't know how this worked in pro games, that the Tiny doesn't naturally get GPM over time.
Yeah, the gold is automatically distributed in custom games if you are not there. I think if you reconnect, he gets his passive gold back immediately. But yeah, while you're not there, you don't have the GPM.
Serenade is... It's a bit of a shielder and warlock. It'll take a bit of time. Attempts to get the golem out, but won't be able to find it. So what do we got? Wukong's Rolling Thunder. Importantly, you get 7 Jessu involved. So the treads one Quelling Blade Monkey at 12 minutes in is at least able to assist in the kill.
He's got 3k gold in the bank account. He's got most of his assets just unspent right now. 2,000 of his gold was used to buy items. 3,000 is just waiting to be used for this Radiance. At least Warlock dying gave him 30 seconds to micro the Tiny without having to focus on anything else. it looks like it's Koval actually, the one microing. Can see it by the movement. So it's the Tusk playing it. He's basically trying to run around and play the two heroes. At least they have pretty similar playstyle. Tusk and Tiny, they want to go on someone. It's a bit rough that Tiny never got his Blink Dagger though.
What can you do? Just, yeah, I don't know. Is what at least you have your cores incredibly farm. I mean, TB has a quelling, a quelling blade, has an orchid, so it looks like he's going to get involved with the smoke. And 7 is probably the target. It will take them quite a while to get all the way to the southern side of the map, but they still have a creep wave now that he will show inside. What do we toss the TB into the queue? Okay, they're actually going to be forced to drop the golem. Okay.
Happy to do so though, I think. The golem is down, the TB uses meta. They can probably defend this decently with this swashbuckle, but get the big pick off that they wanted. Meanwhile, just leaving Slark to his own device on top lane. He is having such a good time. 2,000 gold and Blade of Alacrity. He is not far away from an Aghanim Scepter already.
Welcome back, Baha.
He's back. Well, they did the best they could. Meanwhile, this does set back his timings pretty hard. He's still actually ahead of every core on Radiant somehow.
Wait, I don't understand. How does the gold actually work though? So like, even if you kill creeps when you're DC'd, it just like...
Wait, he got Blink Dagger, so it must have just not updated for us. I think it must have been a visual bug that his gold wasn't increasing.
Okay,
Because there's no way. I saw his gold was low as well, but then when I clicked around, if you click Tusk and then click Tiny, it would show you the Tusk's gold, and if you click Warlock and then Tiny, it would show you the Warlock's gold, so I think we just couldn't really check his gold by clicking him.
Well...
But yeah. No real harm done by the disconnect.
Yeah, not really, to be honest. Like, it's just you were still able to kill the Monkey King. All you lost was a support, right, with a couple of ultimates used from ASAKURA. They are actually going to get the Tormentor, though. So Dire, nowhere to be seen. This is slipping up a little bit, giving... I mean, it's the Ag Shard to the Silencer, so it's not the worst, but still.
Yep. I mean, Silencer can be... pretty happy getting that. He doesn't even have the glaives skilled up yet though, so not really gonna buff too much other than the brain steel. But of course they had golem cooldown, so without golem, without meta, they didn't really want to take a fight, so they concede the Tormentor. Meanwhile though, they have invaded top, they have invaded the ancient area, Slark is farming, and we lost Baha again.
See if we say anything this time before we unpause.
I think that they should just resume immediately at this point. They already have stated that, you know, you used up enough of our time and Impossible don't have any time. Yeah.
You were doing very well.
That's good. Admin stepping in as well. Oh, he's back
this
again.
is a big moment in the game for Impossible. This is that nighttime for Rubicon with Scepter completed. Like, you should be able to get a lot out of the map and kind of position aggressively inside Asakura's like front half of the jungle.
Yeah, could force Weaver to ulti here, or even kill him with the help of Tiny.
He's reconnecting, already ready to go. Radiance is online for 7 Jessu. We got some ultimates as well, but the Global Silencer was used early on. Can get the Ravage they can. Nice timing with the combination. The stuns will overlap to hold them inside the Radiance burn of the clones. They will be able to get away from the rock and also leap down to the low ground as 7 Jessu is A-OK.
That force staff from Silencer, saving Monkey's life. Without it, I think he would get clipped by the Golem stun AoE, and that would have secured the kill on him for sure. So we get some nice pickoffs for Asakura, but at the same time the area is still being controlled by Slark. He can't really go in here. Slark still has ulti available, and he's happily farming away. Level 14 already. I think now Asakura should just go back and try to push out lanes, farm up a little bit more. Jessu is going for a shard next after his Radiance. And Slark has left top lane. He's officially on the run, looking for some killers, or looking for some kills.
Oh, there's one kill. And there should be a tier 2 tower. A little bit late with the Orchid, unfortunately. Baha does have to blink up in 3 seconds. Too far away, unfortunately, though.
Yeah, Silencer puts a defensive ward. He sees them hiding behind the tree line.
Well, Shards is better than the Pounce. Serenada's going to do his best here with the Rolling Thunder, but the ultimates is still on cooldown for Radiant. Savager has isolated Baha down to the south. They're going to end up losing the Tiny, but they are now locked into place with the Fatal Blondes linking them up. Slark is nowhere to be seen, though. They need Rubicon to enter the fight. He'll now do so towards the tail end. And with that, with the Ravage still on cooldown and some ultimates not available for them, they got the Tiny, but it just wasn't enough for a successful fight from ASAKURA. This game is continuing to fall further and further out of reach.
Yeah, so difficult for him to fight into the Fatal Bombs, doing a lot of work, and the Slark just way too strong. They don't have fantastic ways of killing Slark. Even if they get off a nice global silence, something like that, it's still difficult to burst him fast enough. He has 1600 HP with the Aghanim Scepter. They don't have the fastest hero damage coming out. Tier 2 tower now taken down, so this is a lot of map control opening up for Impossible. Slark has the shard already. And now they swing over. They see them moving out into the triangle for dewarding. They send a smoked Slark forward.
Gotta be careful. This time the ultimates are there from Asakura. The respect needs to be given. Sansa with an aggressive jump in. 2 fights breaking out simultaneously. They've been able to deal with the Pango and the Silencer up to the north. So Rubicon is making space for the rest of the team to deal with some of the big ultimates. And they had to use the global silence on the dying breath of Silencer, but it didn't really do a whole lot.
That's really tough, actually. They need these ultis to play in synergy with each other. The global silence needs to either follow up or set up for the Ravage and Pango ulti. Now without the global, I think they just got dodge again, but look at them on the hunt all the time. Monkey's sliding away, trying to get to some farm. He's gonna go for the gate play. Tusk is on the hunt though, has a blink dagger, he's gonna catch him.
Jesu? Instantly Slark is starting to pounce over. You got Baha nearby as well. Jesu's gonna make 7 deaths now. That's gonna kill. It's a consolation prize, 490 gold injected into the bank. Meanwhile, you're probably gonna lose the Silencer. Well, I thought that Terrorblade was just beelining towards his location, but now actually he's gonna think otherwise because the wraparound Slimy out along with Tide is ready to go.
He has Thunder once the silence is out.
Looking for the Ravage with the chain control. Rolling Thunder coming out, but it's too late. Elam's fine. And Slark is in the middle, looking to make some chaos happen. He'll feast on the Tide's health. Serenada's going to be able to dip into the invis, so he's okay. They'll drop a sentry.
Oh, the dust clipped him.
The dust as well. They get the glimpse. Nice use of the vision here from Dire. Impossible continuing to whatever they would desire on the map.
Man, all credit to Impossible. They're playing a really good game, actually. This is so different from what we saw from them in day 1, where they struggled a lot. So, of course, against one win, it was just tough for them to get some gameplay going. We have a disconnect and an instant resume as well. Baha is spending half the game trying to reconnect. He's fighting not only against Asakura, but against his own ISP as well at the same time.
Radiant structures are fortified. Radiant's top tower is under attack.
What can you do? At least every time you come back, you see the net worth continuing to grow.
Yeah, probably feels pretty good for him. Seeing that his team is doing so well, he doesn't feel that worried, but of course, you want to be there for every part of it. He knows that he plays an important hero in catching these split pushers right now.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Anytime they try to leave base, the Slark is just on them. The poor Silencer going out and dewarding. Loses his life immediately for it. It gets gone on top, but not really threatened by a Tiny alone.
It's the third or fourth wave that Weaver's just cut, so he's just going to stick around and still go for more. There's really not much he has to be too worried about. 1600 health is actually a little bit tanky than you would expect with the Urn 8
Oh,
or
the silence.
the wand.
Ooh, what a weird timing for pausing.
Is he... Orchid should be too quick. Why did...
No, he didn't Orchid. I don't know why he clicks the reflection first there. Orchid's instant, yo. Unfortunate. Probably just the habit when you see someone you want to reflect immediately so you don't blink away or something, but in this case a silence would have been a kill. Slark pushing at the bottom lane, looking for these Radiant heroes. Warlock actually providing some vision on them as well, and scouting them from the high ground.
So Renata's actually going to try and make the attempt. Nice blink away for the task. Seeing there was an opportunity for them to group up. With the Ravage could have been devastating, but it wasn't good enough. They're going to use the Global Silence as well, but Rubicon timed it. Dispelled it off. They were still able to deal with the Warlock, but these are so many ultimates needed.
Oh, he's going to be fine. Completely out of mana is a bit dangerous there. The Pango burning his mana. Meanwhile, this time they get him. The combination, the two heroes. TB with a Hurricane Pike as well already. Pretty early. I like that choice against the Monkey King. You gotta be able to get out of the Monkey ulti. Goes for a very, very carry style build, as we mentioned earlier. Even though the Slark is absolutely controlling this game, the TB is like a backup carry at this point.
Yeah. He's so incredibly farmed, Alan. Almost equal net worth, rivaling Rubicon.
Oh yeah, the two of them are absolutely flying ahead. And, gonna take down Roche. I don't see any way they can fight this without Global and Ravage. So this is their Roche easily. And Tormentor is about to spawn in just a little bit. They took it very early on Radiant. See if they think to control it or if they're just gonna hunt for kills again. I know what Slark wants to do. He's gonna go hunting.
Straight away. Over towards Radiant's Triangle. They've vacated away from the area at them already.
There's a Ghost Scepter on the Silencer now, and a Force Staff, so he's not just food. It takes a while to digest him.
Oh, he's giving them so much information. They got the T1 tower to be able to tip into as well. Radiant, they need to play off their ultimates. They'll be able to kill the task and now leap over towards the Slark, but the Golem gives an opportunity for Rubicon to activate the BKB and the Shadow Dance. Nicely done. Maybe a second later with the Golem and you lose the Aegis, and who knows how different of that fight could have been. But ASAKURA weren't able to bring down Rubicon. They might lose Slimeo as well.
Yeah, I didn't think he was close enough on Adar on the Warlock, but he has that Force Staffed and then ultied, making sure to save his teammates. Beautiful timing. Of course, the Slark had Aegis, so it's not like if he died it would have been horrible, but it would mean that ASAKURA would probably have been able to disjoint that fight. Instead, Slark stayed alive, gets the pick-offs, and now this is just going to be Rax. Wukong's command spent. They do have 3 teamfight ultis still, though. They can probably defend the next lane of Rax if they keep pushing.
Pango's tipping into the Tier 2 tower. So what do we got? Global, Rolling Thunder. Rubicon might get a glimpse of Serenada. Yeah, they're going to see him. Pounce over the top. We need you everything you can to try and keep him alive. They'll try and tip with the Warlock at the moment. Once again, a quick kill onto a support. Serenada's got the opportunity to play around with the Rolling Thunder as well, but the ultimates are now gone from Radiant. It's not going to matter though. This is the fight where Aim Possible will try and cut their losses and dip back to the cover of a high ground where they are controlling.
Yeah, Rubicon messed up a little bit. He got the wrong angle and the pounce didn't chain pounce the Pangolier. So he managed to survive. Otherwise it would have been a clean kill, but they lose some heroes, so a chance for ASAKURA to stabilize a little bit. Just trying to work on whatever items they can try and finish up. Tidehunter working on a Shivas, but still a long way to go.
Love that every time it's Serenata that's instantly unpausing.
He's the designated unpauser.
Over. Okay, gets a snowball stun pass through on the Tide. Oh, now is probably just going to give a bunch of essence over. They turn with the Ravage. Could be an okay fight. Idar's here. Golem up in 10 seconds. They still need to get the kill to... Really?
Get the Warlock?
Okay, they let Rubicon get away.
Yeah. I mean, even if they kill him once there, they probably would have to run immediately because look at the backup coming in. You have Tiny and TB are arriving. Don't want to stick around and fight the big brothers as they arrive. Slark realizes that being on 20 mana doesn't feel that good. Yeah, try and get himself back to base and fill up this mana pool a bit.
What has he got queued up?
Nullfire. So Nullfire first and then Disperser. And Nullfire against the Silencer with his Force Staff and Ghost Scepter is going to be doing a lot of work. Pretty evil item choice. And also the extra armor from Nullfire against the physical damage of the Radiant cores. It's again, triple physical damage primarily cores. Sure, you have the Radiance tick from the monkey, I guess, but the 10 armor is going to do a lot for Slark's survivability.
Yo! You'd wish you had the Nullify now.
Yeah, he's just in your base, killing your support.
Guys?
Dear God, this is on commitment, though.
Guys, Rubicon needs help. Are we going to be able to help him? I will try, but the Avalanche doesn't do much. Rock as well to disrupt the Wukongs. What is going on? This is Silencer, bro. What?
Silencer got a tip him right now, dude.
What is that? It's such a crazy feat. Ida's gone. Are we really sticking around? Baja wants to jump. Did they get a glimpse of him? They didn't.
I'm lost for words, man. I don't know. This Slark is seeing red. He wants Silencer at all costs. The fact that he spent BKB before his ages. I don't know. It just means that you don't have a play to survive when you respawn. Gets Pangold, and that's the end.
It's a recipe for a bad combo here. It was 9-1-11, and then he sees an amp damage, and he sees a Silencer under a tier 3 tower. He's like, oh, I mean, dude. I feel like every time I pick up a DD or an amp damage, my mind just, I don't know, I start not thinking clearly.
Yeah, certainly. Especially when he was just a little bit off. I think he even had his Nullfire flying out from the courier at the point that he was diving. It's just unfortunate to dive the tier 4 tower like that. His team's probably pretty confused what was going on. Or they're used to it, you know. Maybe it's like, that's our carry, you know. He does these things.
This game, though, is, like, it's not unwinnable for ASAKURA with all their team fight. You're going to get the Tormentor as well. It's the Weaver one. Okay, we could have seen maybe a better one, but I think the big thing with the Weaver is that it will help you split push the map, and I think he's done an incredible job at that mid lane. Baja with the jump back if they got anything, still with the ultimates being on cooldown. Global Silence and Ravage not available. In fact, they actually do have the Ravage, but Tide didn't want to use it to keep the Pango alive, and now he might end up dying as well. They're going to push it back to the tier 4 tower. They jump over the top 7. Jesu dropped the combo, but you're using your spells not in conjunction together. You got some big ultimates, but they don't really work when you use them one by one.
Yeah, I think maybe miscommunication there. He wanted the Pango to buy back and drop the roll as well, but with Tide not having any mana, having to walk to base to get his Ravage, I think that was the wrong time to go. Now, this is a difficult Rax to hold. 10 seconds on Pango. Doesn't want to spend the buyback. Lift comes in.
Pass back onto the Tide. Looking to try and force the Ravage out. They won't even get it off. Rubicon's fine once again. Great timing with the Dispel to get rid of the Global Silence. Monkey King into the middle, but what can he do without anyone or the Wukongs? Not even going to get Baha. Surviving on a slither of health. Shards as well as a perfect placement. Oh man, Corvo, are you serious? Look at that shards, dude.
Oh, beautiful.
What a placement from Corvo. Take a bow. That is game one here. What a frustrating game from ASAKURA. A lot of pauses, a lot of waiting, but impossible. They're probably going to be able to get it in the end. I think we're done here.
Yeah, that was also very nice. Sunder making sure that he saves his teammate, but yeah, those shards perfectly trapped the Pangolier in place. Koval just with a heads-up play. And despite the setbacks, the ISP issues, now we have Serenata disconnecting.
He's tilted.
Yeah. GG gets called for game one, so impossible. Despite all the struggles they had throughout the game, still a fantastic performance. And this is what, you know, you can have when lanes are easy. Slark dominating throughout the entire game, despite that one feed onto the side.
Favorite?
I think I'm still favoring Impossible because their draft is more active, whereas ASAKURA, their draft is a bit more farm heavy. They want to get quite a few items on Medusa. Wind Rangers, you know, can be aggressive, but it's a bit greedier than a Mid Sand King. I think she's a bit more item dependent than he is. How are you feeling? You leaning one way or another?
I think a little bit more to Radiant, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm intrigued. We'll see how if we get any DCs as well. We're gonna play 4v5. Are we gonna get another crazy fight? Apparently we are.
Yeah.
7
On
Jess.
Medusa.
That they are indeed. She is nice bushwhack. Actually, I don't think it's gonna matter. Men has gone. Health we see will shortly follow. Is she actually alive? No, she'll take out the blood grenade. And now with the Crystal Maiden as well, tries to poke her head under the tower. We got any more spells? She's going to be fine. Ellum goes way too far over, so it looks like the Mars will be the sacrifice here, but Impossible were able to find first blood. They're still going to try and stick around on the high ground. They feel strong enough, even with the resources being quite low. Serenata steps up a little bit too close and adds another death, and maybe Slimy or two. Like, guys, what's going on? What's it with these teams, dude? They just only know how to fight.
To the last drop here, killing everybody. This does mean that PA TP's down bottom with absolutely no health. Meanwhile, the Beastmaster denied one rune using his boar and then took the other one. At least this is a high HP start to the lane for him, and PA having no resources. AA being a little bit low. Of course, Impossible with a big win though. Baha? Dropping really low on Sandkey. This is so weird for him.
No! And he fairy-fired. Walked into an end fairy-fired too, okay.
That's rough. He thought he would live. He had a salvo on the courier, so he wanted to heal up, but this is a horrible start for him. Wind Ranger getting farmed the entire first creep wave for free.
And, yeah, waste itself, so... It's just... These two teams makes Dota very interesting to watch in the early game.
They definitely do. The starting fight is kind of crazy. But Wind Ranger looks like she should be dominating mid pretty hard. She already has Bottle coming out. Sure, the Sand King did sentry, so she probably has to purchase more sentries to try and keep vision on him. But overall, Serenata should have no issue. 8 and 7 right now.
Jeez. 70 damage already, so a lot of it's going to be up to the sentry control.
Yeah, and if he lands those power shots or not. The harassment continuously looking for auto attacks and power shots. Yeah, that was a blind attempt. Didn't have any vision, so gotta respect the attempt. Water Rune spawns, and Wind Ranger 10 and 10 lasted minute 2. Just fantastic. Looking at the side lanes a bit, what do we see so far? The Medusa sitting at 9 and 1 against the Mars, who's 8 and 2. Pretty even top lane. by the way, the Crystal Maiden did go for the barrier facet, so I'm not a fan of this, you know? I feel like this is a lot of lost value when you're laning with the Medusa. But we'll see. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe it doesn't work that way, but generally Mana Shield goes first against any barrier. So I don't see why this would work. I'll pay attention and see if it's any different, but should work the same as all other barriers. Bottom lane, Adar.
Should be given over a kill. Actually, that's a fair fight, so maybe Adar's okay, looking to try and play the fine line of baiting and keeping his own life, and well, he does it very well.
Yeah, nice bait, stays alive, and even has a salve to heal up afterwards. And get himself back to full. PA gonna be happy with the kill that she got. The one big thing for them on Radiant though is Baha. He is just absolutely unable to get anything on mid lane. 8-0 against 23-12. I goes first deny. Back into the game.
Almost flawless on Serenata, that's crazy. He's CSing so well.
That's amazing. Amazing level form.
This guy's rich. See what he can do with the gold.
Yeah, on the side lanes we have a bit of contesting for the pull. The small camp was not allowed to get stacked as the Tusk blocks it. And Hoodwink runs in and denies one of the water runes. So now they're gonna get the other one. So that means the poor Sand King does not get a refill.
So what are the discussions then for Radiant when you see Sand King's probably expressing the rough lane that he's having? Is it up to Koval? Does he need to kind of sacrifice the Mars and go back to the jungle and start to make some stacks? Because when the Sand King was getting played a lot, we saw this was a hero that really thrived on early stacks.
He does thrive on stacks, but I don't think Tusk is the hero you want to stack with. Top lane, they're committing for the CM. Can they get her? Burst her. I think more likely, they're just going to want to try and play top lane as long as they can until the lane gets like unplayable against the Medusa being too tanky. And Sand King, he'll just have to get creative. He's stacking the big camp for himself, so he's preparing to recover jungle.
Bottom lane, Adar. Don't end up dying to the axes. Rubicon's gonna have a bit of a difficult time with the constant root of the Hawk, so won't be able to get the finishing blow. It's a beast.
And both teams dropping pretty low. Tusk senses blood and water here. TP's down bottom, looking for the beast. If he can maybe get on them with a snowball, should be an easy kill.
The rotations that I was asking for inside the draft, I don't know if they got a glimpse of him.
I think they spotted him, but maybe not. No pings, but they did run back immediately, so I think they saw him in the tree line there. Got a little bit too close to the creeps.
So it does mean you're putting emphasis on trying to secure your safe lane instead of mid. So Serenata, both supports are going to swing over. Power and for him amp damage with a focus fire now.
Ooh, he has dust and he has an amp damage rune ready. This Sand King has to be so cautious. Overstep a little bit and you die immediately. Tusk saw them both. The DD rune has been spotted. Back to jungle. Just gonna try and farm up some of these jungle creeps for himself. On Sand King doesn't really have much else he can do right now. As the PA and Medusa both doing fantastically well with CSing. The carry's having a great time.
Radiant are scanning.
Very timing-based game though. We'll see when Dominator comes in from Beastmaster if he can swing the game a little bit.
Speaking of the beast, Shard's a little bit off the mark from Koval. Rubicon has fed the strike up, but if he commits, there's no way he's going to get out with his life. He might still not. Serenata actually wants to go for the Tusk instead. Was thinking he might try and pop the win run to catch up to the Rubicon, but I guess 1 point win run. Not have been able to find him in the end. So 1 for 1.
He's hanging around though, has the D to rune. He could stick around for the PA, but as the mid is pushing in, he feels sort of pressured to go back and push out and farm. Also the 8-minute power rune, something he wants to control. Sankey is going for the full power treads, by the way, so not going for the bracers into a blink that I expected. Instead, looking to have some auto attack speed.
Okay.
Radiant's middle tower
Another power rune.
Haste and DD.
Do we go now? So has quarter duration left on the amp damage.
Yeah, it's a bit of duration, but this guy invade, take away some farm from the Sanking. Windranger knows she can also just keep farming. She's definitely in no stress to have to make these forced moves, so just kind of looking and then back towards mid. All the supports have found the Sanking, but he Quelling Blades the Hoodwink tree.
Top lane. Tempted to 7 gestures left. No way this works. We're just trying to force rotations? Like, what is this? God, that is so ambitious, dude.
I mean, it's a Medusa. You're not killing Medusa like that. She got Magic Stick and she has Mango. She didn't use either of them. To try and kill Medusa in laning stage, you gotta do like 3,000 damage or something ridiculous like that. It's very hard. Mana Shield is way too crazy. For now, they should be looking for kills anywhere except for on the Medusa, I think. Mid lane, sitting behind. Here comes the AOT.
It's a big one. Nice combination and a much needed kill as well. And yeah, this it's a mental game. Just tip Serenata, try and tilt him.
Yeah, Baha feeling good about getting a play in with the supports. That's pretty nicely timed AOT. Getting his level 6 and making a play. Top lane CM. Stays alive to the Mars.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Spear, he's seeing ghosts, dude.
So, oh. I think he's kind of that lucky the Shackles actually stopped the epicenter. I don't know if there was a kill there.
Yeah, he's he's looking for something on the Sanking. You know, whatever you can get when you're this far behind, take any chance, but not really able to go for something there. Ranger's still denying him a lot. Ooh.
Oops.
The counter tip is coming in soon.
It's coming. They get the raw Kovo. Snowball to the catapult. They're going to be able to walk it off though. Baha still's got the Burrow Strike to be able to make it over towards the high ground. But the chase is on. And they're going to be able to get him. Come on. Where are the tips? Come on.
Come on. Serenata too busy. He's looking for another kill. He's hunting after a Tusk. Gets a shackle. Crazy shackle onto the Ogre.
What is that angle?
That looked wild.
Oh, Snowball down. Do we go for the deny on Roche? Do we try and run it off? Where are we going? PA's nearby. Does he want to jump in though?
He got the speed. He's getting out of here. No.
Is he?
No.
Okay, he's not getting out. They got it.
Slime yo. With the TP. Windlace is fast, but the TP is faster. A lot of action. Scrambling around the river. So we're at the 11-minute mark. Right now. Farm is pretty even on both these teams. Like, the supports don't have a big net worth difference. The cores are all pretty similar. Like, yeah, your mid for Radiant is pretty weak, but at the same time, the off lane for Dire is pretty underfarmed. The Beastmaster doesn't have that much. He's actually queuing up the Helm of the Overlord. So not going for the Aghanim Scepter build.
Okay.
I haven't seen anyone go for Beastmaster without Scepter in recent times. It feels almost mandatory to get it.
Say the decision's going to work out for him this game. Is now starting to get some catch up with the items, and maybe with the Helm done, they are going to shove Rubicon out of the lane. In fact, he's already up the top, so looking to try and play with Alum. and they're even smoking it as well. So both sides kind of mirroring the exact same move. The only difference is the fact that 7 Jesu is still feeling like he can defend the tower by himself, but shortly he's going to see that there are a lot of heroes nearby.
Yeah, everyone is swinging over. AA and Sanking are joining in as well.
Well, this doesn't look that good for Radiant. They get the kill onto the Hoodwink, but is there still a fight to be had? A little bit awkward with the combination. Baha, I don't know if the illusion actually dodged the Burrow Strike. I didn't get the full glimpse of that. I don't know if you saw, but off the mark with the combo.
I didn't see it either. I think he did disjoint it. Because he popped the full ulti there, thinking they was gonna catch him, but he just gets away. I was looking at the fight on the left side at the same time to see Windrunner running away. Interesting as well, the item build from Serenata, by the way. He recognized that there's a lot of magic burst and they're trying to bring him down, so he bought an early cloak in this game. And looks to just be a casual cloak. No further intentions.
It's gonna be Mage Slayer, no? He's got the...
Oh, he's... yeah, never mind. He's going for the Mage Slayer build, I guess.
How do we feel like about Free Farm PA? Is this a scary PA game with net worth that it just equals an automatic victory, or is that not the case?
PA is very, very strong for sure when she gets this level of farm. The problem is, I don't think their team is going to be the ones looking to push towers and like group up and go together. Actually, I think that the Dire team is pretty strong with the Dominator and Medusa's early timing of being super tanky. PA will scale better though. Going late game, I favor her, but I think there will be a timing where they might struggle a bit to fight into the Medusa.
Okay. And what is that timing you think? Like, is it second item on Dusa, which have seen for a lot of her? Okay,
the butterfly. So she's going second item butterfly. A good timing for this is usually around like 19-20 minutes in a good game. You get butterfly. If he gets that timing on the Medusa, then that would be hard to fight into as a PA, obviously missing a ton of your attacks. They're invading.
Oh, but the bar.
Beautiful.
Oh, what happened with the Ice Blast?
Adar, he double tapped it.
Oh, no. A fight where it was a possibility for them to get a lot of kills, and still the stacks, one slip up, cost them massively, but the price is 3 of their members.
Question is if the fight would even have been that good if he landed it. Like, it might have worked out, but there were still 5 heroes on ASAKURA, and Mars was nowhere to be seen. PA was far away. Like, they may have gotten a burst on 1 hero, but the 3 of them were still probably dying there. Still, a little bit of nerves showing on Adar on this AA. But otherwise been playing pretty clean this game, but first missed ulti. This is gonna mean that the Tormentor goes the way of Dire on the back of that lost fight. Getting the shard for CM. One of the amazing shards to get, by the way. I think different shards have different level of impact when you get them. A CM getting a shard is amazing.
Wait, Jesu? Is this...
fine?
Again? These crazy attempts onto the Medusa. They don't have enough. And there was always the threat of people coming through the portal. They still want to try and take the fight. Ice Blast going to connect over to the right side. They got Rubicon as well, shown with the Phantom Assassin. It's a good arena as well. Controlling 2 of the heroes that enables PA to have this free engagement where she's not too worried about dying with the initiation. Now she might see an angle to go for the Crystal Maiden. Rubicon showing up massive here, but can he get away with his own life? With the Bow Strike, tries to cover the retreat. Wind Ranger steps over to the north. 7 Jesu's mana is falling a little bit low here. Still has some 1 charges which she'll use now, but it's not enough to repair the damage. Ultra kill for Rubicon, but sniped down. Serenata here will reign supreme with the Wind Ranger, the only one to stay alive through the entirety of the fight.
The double kill shot execute, dude. That was beautiful. I don't think either of them would have died normally there if he didn't have the kill shot, but he gets both the kills. Absolutely amazing takedown. What a turnaround to the fights. Otherwise, it looked like a disaster. At the end of the day, it's a bloodbath. The top tier 1 tower is still alive at the end of the day. And Dire probably pretty happy since Wind Ranger gets a ton of momentum from this fight. That puts her almost towards an entire Maelstrom if she wants it. I think getting some True Strike would be nice against the PA. See what he decides to go for. Of course, shouldn't understate the impact of that ultra kill as well before that. The PA just going from one to the next finishes up her entire Sanjiasha now.
She's massive. They're doing two things across the map simultaneously. Baha along with Ada trying to hunt down with the Beastmaster, and they will be rewarded. Nice nuke.
No double tap on the ulti this time. Adar, he slipped up once, but he's back. Shield rune for the Wind Ranger to go pick up. Still 3,000 gold unspent on him. I'm wondering what it is going to be. He queues up the BKB next. So BKB into the Brooch. Respectable build for sure. I think against the combinations of Radiant, it feels pretty good to have an early BKB. And meanwhile, the Medusa is well on track to get that 20-minute butterfly right now. 800 gold away.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Look how they're defending Medusa. A lot of observers. A lot of importance put on trying to keep this tier 1 tower alive. Rubicon's going to get the objective and then follow the Tusk, who's starting to move to 7 Jessu's location, but the shards, unfortunately, it's a little bit shy.
Oh, very nice by him still, though. Just playing aggressive, trying to threaten Medusa. It's not that you have an easy time killing her, but you shouldn't let her get away with completely free farming up here. So you get the tower, get some dewarding in the area, and actually gonna go on to her again. I don't know about this one.
Okay.
See him respond at least with a TP, but this means Wind Ranger might find your AA.
Easy.
Easy breezy, and that puts him all the way towards his BKB. Just needs 100 more gold by the entire thing. But actually gets Rena'd. No counterplay for him.
Okay, not a bad solo kill. Gets Alum close towards the BKB. We'll see what they want to do though. 80 seconds, no arena. Are there any objectives that they can get for ASAKURA? There's going to be double damage once again for Serenata, so the potential for tier 1 mid, but it's still pretty rough. I mean, you're going to be fighting into the threat of the Blink burrow into Ice Blast, but they'll put 7 Jessu first and just let the Medusa start to siege.
The fact that they have so much sustainability on the Medusa and then the Mage Slayer onto the Wind Ranger, so if Sand King jumps in, you just gotta attack him and take away his damage. And they're moving down towards bottom in the smoke.
They want Roche?
There's no way. Are they going straight Roche? This is very forced. They don't even have that good of a Roche team. I don't know about this play.
Oh, Ada?
Okay, they're committing. Arena is on cooldown for 20 seconds. I feel like Radiant have all the tools for this one.
Yeah, you should be able to stall, right?
Yeah, I think they can just go in the moment they have their spells on Sand King and Arena here.
Oh, do you need the PA? She's not showing up at the moment. I mean...
Yeah, 7 Jessu backs out. Thinks better of it. Very awkward situation though. You bring Roche down to half HP. Now you don't really want to leave the area because PA might just take the Roche.
Pretty good position from Koval. I think they're going to see Serenata. Important that Ada doesn't die. Serenata's going to shove the AA away from the pit, but everyone else also left, so...
Yeah, and they get the kill. They're going to get Adar as well. Because of this Wind Ranger with the BKB making the sweeping move with their DD rune, now they finally get the Roche. So it works out in the end. It just couldn't be as stressed about it.
Oh, they got him.
He punched him when he was mid-roar animation, by the way. You almost want to let him use the roar on you there when you TP out instead.
Yeah.
Put the roar on cooldown, no?
The scary timing, mid lane, slimy out. Okay.
It's the support pickoff, but that is again Arena on cooldown, so go time right now for ASAKURA.
Alan? BKB's going to be used, but Serenata not hitting the bulwark. Rubicon's going to try and jump in with the help of the stun from Baja. Serenata's actually going to be able to stay alive with the BKB activated. Steps away. 7 Jesu's been able to sweep down. Nice shackle. Locks them both in a place. Rubicon feel like there's no way to escape, so he has to go forward into Asakura's territory. The kills will help him slip out with no one to be able to stop the escape, with the stuns being lacking. No Beast, no Wind, NCM. They're actually okay in the end. It was looking a little bit dicey for Radiant.
Yeah, a little bit of a close call there, but Mars with a very nice play to get in and finish off the Wind Ranger. The A ulti missed her at first, so she got away to safety, but with the blink and the Tumbler's toy, he double hopped forward, caught her with the God's Rebuke at the end of the day. Gets an important takedown.
Okay, game's even. Minimal net worth lead for Asakura. Of course, it's still... The ages is that big advantage that Asakura have. And we'll see how much they're really able to get out of it. Would you like to see them start posturing pretty aggressively and walking down lanes? Or do you feel like they're not at that stage yet?
I think so. I think I want them to push and like group behind the Medusa and let her push. But the problem is, Impossible is showing that they're very good at jumping the backline. With the double blink daggers on the Mars and Sanking, the PA able to blink in innately, and then AH support. And again, going for a pickoff here, finding Beast, but
it's not enough.
Okay.
Is okay indeed. So, meanwhile, 7 Jasu's trying to run down Ada.
I don't think they can get kills with just the 2 supports. They really need the help of... They need the help of either Sanking or PA, or Mars even. This means that the Beast gets to complete his pipe. That's the entire thing now, so this is a great timing for them. Dominator is upgraded, pipe is complete.
Oh, Baja with the jump in. They've still put the Beast inside the lane, but the pipe's going to mitigate some of the damage from Baja, but it will not stop Rubicon, who is a bit stuck though. Has the BKB if required? Does he want to think about going in? Will not be the case. BKB. TP out.
It's to safety, but that's BKB on cooldown on the PA. Medusa still has the Aegis for 1.5 minutes. She can start laying into these towers now. Losing your Beastmaster hurts a little bit, but they can easily push. Getting...
What? Again, this seems a bit ambitious. Okay.
I mean, you don't have enough damage against the Mage Slayer, plus the BKB not even expended there by Wind Ranger. She was not really close to being threatened.
Get the BKB out of her in the end.
Yeah. Well, with 4 heroes nearby, I think Serenata has to be careful. They are pushing the bottom tower meanwhile, so... Don't want to try and make too many plays at once. Sand King. Whew. The Yules in a blink gets himself to safety. He is very close to finishing up a Satanic, by the way. 800 gold. She will be a real menace to fight into. Also gives her a chance to dispel against the Frostbite that keeps getting spammed on her. Medusa has the Disperser as well, so she got her own Dispel ready and a bit of movement speed now to catch up to people.
Okay. 2 tower, top lane looking to try and defend as well. The TP7 Jesu back with the rest of the team is starting to link up. It's going to be a long way for them to get there, but they're out of top by the looks of it for Impossible.
Right now it feels like Asakura losing the Aegis at the worst possible time, right? Like, they want to keep going, they have the pipe, they have all the items to start pushing towers, so the Aegis would have been really nice to keep having. And this gives a moment for Impossible to maybe keep making these stabs. They have been showing a lot of aggression in this game. Smoke is ready on the AA. Might see them just group and go. Is it gonna be the case? They're thinking about it. Scan him out on the Tormentor. Immediately smoke down there.
Could be scary with the team fight combo that Radiant have in the close area like this. It's all going to come down to initiation. Gets the jump in. Who gets the vision? Alum. Smoke's going to pop inside the lane. He's just going to charge up. Can he activate the BKB before they're able to bring him down with the shackles? Is good. The bar strike over towards the high ground. Radiant, it's looking super messy. It was a hopeful go. Rubicon still thinks there's an angle for him to get into the middle, but the roll wastes the BKB duration, and this is nothing what they were hoping to happen. You know, they wanted to run in, catch ASAKURA off guard, but that did not happen in the end. With the smoke popping inside the lane, the creeps giving them the vision. It was an awkward one.
They were not really all arriving at the same time. The Mars goes in, breaks the smoke, finds a pretty good God's Rebuke on 2 heroes, even pushing the Beastmaster onto the high ground, and that looked all fine and well. The problem is PA wasn't there at the same time. They couldn't connect and get a stun in to burst someone, so PA jumps in, but the moment she Blink Strikes in, gets Beastmaster ultied, and it's a little bit one-by-one effort from Impossible. They didn't connect at the same moment, and that allowed ASAKURA to react so well. And by the way, Vanilli on the Crystal Maiden here just absolutely kited the Mars. Using the shard, kept freezing him over and over, and in the end he died to God's Rebuking the Crystal Clone and just getting frozen one more time.
Radiant structures are fortified.
How do we like the itemization from Seven Jesu going Skadi instead of MKB?
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
I kind of like what he's doing, to be honest. He knows that 1v1, he's always gonna lose to the PA. The benefit of having Medusa is not that she's a good man fighter, it's that she is the heart of the fight. She's the center that can just bring down everyone at once. So he's not going for a build to counter PA directly. And I think that's more Windranger's job, perhaps, to get some burst against the PA. She's currently queuing up a Bloodthorn.
Is he sure to try and hit the tower? You bet he's going to, but the speed doesn't get the connection. But still, with the Ice Blast will be there, and all or nothing. Dump everything they possibly can to try and bring the Medusa down. The roll will push him away, but it's not going to be good enough. 7 Jesu out for the count, and now Vanilli. Nice use of the clone to make it up to the high ground, but Kova was already there waiting. A big fight for Impossible to be able to stem some of the momentum that was building for Dire.
It's just a bit disrespectful going up to a tower like that when you don't have your entire team around, you don't have Aegis. I think he got a little bit cocky after a previous fight on the Tormentor, and now suddenly Impossible are the ones who can make moves again. Even though they used a lot of abilities there, this gives them a chance to push out the lanes and go hunting. Slimeo has to be careful.
Yeah, looks like Slimeo's...
Dire's middle tower is
Thought maybe Kervo last second was going to be able to get a glimpse of him, but scurrying into the trees is fine. Tier 2 tower. Top lane will be the casualty of
Dire's top tower is
losing that fight.
Yeah, mid 2. I mean, PA is just solo pushing the mid tier 2 tower, so double tower takedown, equalizing the tier 2 stance right now. It's only the top tier 2 remains for Radiant. Bottom, of course, Dire still have a tier 1 tower even. But this is a big blow to them. They are the ones trying to play on a momentum and like make stuff happen right now with Medusa, whereas the PA, she will become a threat that you cannot really deal with eventually in this game. And PA is in fact the one going for an MKB. Tired of the evasion from the Medusa. Of course the goal of PA is to burst people.
Speaking of the PA, they're going to try and burst her down, but the snowball for the rescue is the task. Now do they want to try and take the fight off the back of the initiation? It's a goddamn good arena. Look at 7 Jesu's location. The Deucer is over to the right side. She cannot enter the fight to get any damage out. What an initiation from Alan. Perfect control. 7 Jesu will now still try and fight afterwards, but all she has is Serenata left to stand nearby. And I don't know if that's going to be good enough. They'll be able to make it back to their side of the map. Focus Fire is online again with the cooldown back up, but it's just not enough. Ellen cuts that fight in half. Everything they needed from the Mars, and he provided. Oh, Serenata? No way.
He's trying to get away. Wind run off cooldown 1 second. Ooh, gets it off. Doesn't have a TP though. He doesn't have a way out here. Jigs up. And that was a fight before the PA gets the MKB.
Tip Alum. What? You tip a PA? What an arena, man. That was incredible.
Yeah, that was a beautiful arena. Absolutely just setting up the entire fight for them. And even though Mars ended up dying, I think he put himself in the correct spot as well. And he fought until the very end, just Wind Ranger brought him down towards the last bit. I think overall they have great counter initiations on Radiant. Like if someone gets jumped, you just drop the arena, drop a Sand King ulti, AA ulti. All these spells are so good to react if someone tanks the gank. Problem is just they don't have a good bait. They don't have someone to tank the gank. PA didn't go for the triple dagger. Went for the -1 attack to trigger.
Oh, Baha. Sidestep for Nilly's not going to get caught for the Burrow Strike. Slimy out. Tries for the sharpshooter jump on the high ground. It's a little bit awkward from Radiant. Everyone's not here. Importantly, you don't have the Mars, which was pivotal to your success in the previous team fight. The communication needs to be there. Baha wants to go in, but Rubicon wants out as well.
Yeah, PA also doesn't have the MKB yet because of the courier dying. Alum is looking for a pickoff though.
Arena. CM. Not good enough though, especially if a fight's gonna happen afterwards. Rubicon. They've got Baha over to the left side. Attempt with the Burrow Strike. Just a little bit shy, but still with the healers will stop the escape from Slime. And even with an arena, it was not required onto multiple members by the looks of it. ASAKURA hesitant to try and take the team fight into this Aegis advantage that you're playing with on Impossible.
Impossible are doing a great job with the target priority. They're killing the supports first, making sure that they ignore the Medusa as much as possible. Even though Medusa hurts a lot over time, she isn't the best target to go on first. Just leave her for last, and ideally they get the Beastmaster before he roars, but even supports are probably more important than him, to be honest, since he is so tanky and supports die in like a split second.
I'll take your tribute.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
We're about to have an enormous power spike on Rubicon, by the way. His courier is coming out with MKB, and then he has 5.6k gold to spend as well. Like, when this respawns, it's like 2 items arriving.
Dude is 15, 1, and 7 Serenata. Nice
shackles. What?
With the Stone Gaze as well. It won't get the stun onto Rubicon. Blur at the last second to try and stop the roar, but the Aegis, he's going to lose it without really getting much value out. Radiant, they're trying to beeline to his location, but look at the intercept. ASAKURA aware of this. It's a massive Burrow Strike inside the base, but the shackles, it was at the last second. Rubicon has expired, so now he's been able to leap into the middle. And Alum's ready to go as well with the arena. Locks in Serenata. Spear, but it's just not enough. They've got the Burrow Strike for the chain control. Rubicon is waiting to follow up with the damage that they were lacking. And now, like you were saying before, every single fight, and it's just leave 7 Jesu till last. This time they won't kill him, but the damage has been dealt.
Yeah, just so hard for him to take a fight, even after bursting the PA once there. They committed the roar, and it's difficult to bring them down in this big team fight to come. I like the choice to jump the AA, but it stretched the fight a little bit too thin, and the Mars Arena mitigates all the damage output. That arena blocking Medusa's auto attacks prevented her from doing too much to the PA. By the way, PA's courier, it just came back alive, gave her the MKB, and immediately died again to the Medusa split shot. So it's back to being dead for 3 minutes. But he goes base, goes shopping the old, good old way with his hero, and finds himself an Abyssal Blade.
Ooh. Wouldn't mind seeing them hit some neutrals to try and get the tier 4 item for Rubicon in particular.
Yeah, it's like the game is so high-paced that it's hard to even find time for it. But in control of the ancient area now, I think they should use that little bit of moment to take over some neutral advantage.
Dire's bottom is under attack.
And right now, game is super difficult for ASAKURA. Their timing it has been missed effectively, so now you gotta go back and say, okay, what can we do from here? They need Medusa to finish up on MKV, because at some point, someone needs to kill this PA, and Wind Ranger can't do it alone.
No, she can't, but who is going to help them, unfortunately, because this is not the Scepter Beast game with, like, a crazy late-game solo kill potential that we see from him.
Also a lot slower farming, right? If you don't have the Aghanim Scepter, so
yeah.
he's just not really thriving the way that we would want to. And bottom, it's actually a push coming in without Aegis. Radiant are looking to go.
See how forced this is going to be. I have a lot of stuns, but it's going to be up to Koval to break that with the snowball. They're happy with forcing them back. Oh, higher ground ward still. That does get pinged.
Yeah, happy to jump anyone except for Medusa, I think, with the Abyss already. Doesn't get vision for long enough. That leaves all of ASAKURA in their base, though. They're smoked up.
And so a lot of commitment they put on playing aggressively with the ward locations as well. And if they back away, it's going to be 2 wards dewarded.
Yeah, Radiant kind of holding this high ground, not giving the cliff away. The MKB is complete on Medusa, so she is ready to try and burst the PA. No Aegis on her now as well. It's still so tricky. Even if you get one good roar, you could still see Koval come in with a snowball save. We've seen this man do it before in different series on this Tusk.
Alam's not... Oh, Rubicon actually jumped aggressively up to the high ground. You don't have the Mars. Epicenter in over to the right side. They're going to be able to force out an early BKB, but as a result, you're going to lose your Sand King. So we're 1v1. And now what can we get off the back of this? 2 supports for the price of the offlane. 7 Jesu now. Is there an opportunity for them? They'll expend the buybacks. Alan walks a little bit far forward, eats the raw. Rubicon's still waiting for his opportunity to go. Tries to deal with the support to the backline. 1 quick crit. Down goes the Crystal Maiden. Now they're going to be thinking about 7 Jesu. Unfortunately, they're trying to turn to the illusions first. Perfect lineup for the Shackles, and this is a forced engagement.
Chasing after for more. The AA not going to be able to get away here, I think. Oh, the Invis? No detection?
Okay. Pops out with the daytime.
He's trying to slide away, down. But AA, not the fastest hero. That fight, by the way, the mana burn from the Medusa burned all of Mars's mana, so he could not use his BKB. He tried to Soul Ring to BKB, but the auto attacks kept burning him. So I think that made it a little bit awkward for him there, as he was frozen, got his mana burned while being stunned up. On the back of that, his PA was left pretty alone. No fighting body to go together with. Now the push is coming in. Wind Ranger with a DD rune and Aghanim Scepter. I don't know if they're gonna brave the high ground necessarily, but 20 seconds until the early Roche spawn. Just setting up and getting control over the Roche area is also a pretty good deal. Alan moving up towards top. He's been hungry for these supports and he got his eye on the hoodwink again.
Did Serenata see him?
I think he may have. Just barely. He's chasing with the wind run. Oh. Mars definitely saw the auto attacks on the neutral camp behind him.
He's in trouble.
Trying to get out. He's under vision now.
He's in the Watcher. Oh. Can he get BKB off? Okay, he got it off. Will Arena now in turn? What, he wants a kill? Ice Blast is flying from across the map and...
I'm so confused. Was that not just a BKB TP out?
Yeah.
Like the roar was already used? He had TP ready. I'm not sure why he decided to commit.
I don't know if he did... I was gonna say, I don't know if you did what I did. I quickly looked at the map and I thought I saw at least 1 or 2 Radiant heroes nearby. But I may have just, you know, I saw colors and I don't know if they were Radiant.
Yeah, it's fine. He can blame, you know, a little bit of color blindness. Thought it was a teammate coming in, you know. Very confusing moment there for the Mars. Kind of dying for nothing when he could definitely have lived. And it would have been a good amount of space created as well. Either way, it did move everyone towards top. Roche is down bottom. They know he spawned. But with Roar already off cooldown, it's not that easy to just say, let's go for it.
I think the important thing to mention still again is the fact that your Die have built this lead, but you had to use 2 support buybacks previously, and we have seen how the fights have looked where Radiant, they kill the supports. And if you do that, it means it's a guaranteed numbers advantage for Radiant inside these fights.
Ooh,
Speaking of the supports. AA glimmered up before the roar. So we'll go down by the looks of it. They don't want to buy back on Alum. They might have to with the AA respawning. They also got a stun onto Tusk inside the bottom river section. So a couple of kills being fed across the map, and ASAKURA are building up a bit of a lead.
What a nice play by Serenata. Like, if you have Snowball coming towards you, you start channeling the power shot. The moment it connects to you, the Tusk is gonna pop out, and your power shot is gonna stop. So it immediately hits him, and he can't blink. It's a nice little way to catch the Tusk.
The ice
Okay,
boss.
sneaking by.
Hey, look at Serenata's location.
Spotted by the wind.
Gonna get the Burrow Strike inside the pit. Baha's giving them the information. Meanwhile, Serenata is isolated over the west side inside the river. He's gone. Now we can look to rejoin with the buyback. 7th Jesu was able to get everything from Roshan. Beast Boss up on the high ground. He's okay. Had an opportunity to be able to cast the Roar, but Radiant still gonna be cautious, reevaluating how they want to take the team fight. Because Dire positioned themselves away from 7th Jesu, just putting himself inside the river. Of course, he's got the second Aegis now with the Wind Ranger buyback as well. This is a big committal from Radiant as Rubicon is in some danger. Serenata will be able to catch up to the Phantom Assassin off the back of the buyback. Baha is trying to escape with a blink up in a couple of seconds. We'll make it over to the right side, but the teleport is on cooldown. Baha should be able to chase him down. Elm, well, he's kind of nearby, but he also wants out.
Oh, Beast has dust.
You get the blink?
Can he blink? Nope. Perfectly timed on the sharpshooter there. Very nicely done. So they did commit buyback on the Wind Ranger and the Beastmaster, but of course the Sand King dying back and getting that kill on PA, really massive. All the while holding on to the Aegis and a refresher on the Medusa. We have a bit of a chase onto the Tusk. I think he's gonna be fine though. Nice ice shards to disjoint the Wind Ranger.
Radiant are scanning.
You know what the big consolation prize here is for Radiant? They managed to steal the Roshan's banner. So even though they're being pushed now, they have a banner at least.
Sick. Serenata?
Yeah.
Wait, top lane, what's going on? Hang on. Do they have the damage for... No, not with BKB going to be activated. You needed to pin him up against the wall. Serenata playing with them, but... Hang on, he's still stuck inside the shards, and Elm's got a little bit of right-click damage here with the items, but... I don't know if it's going to matter. What a massive kill it would be. It'd be a dieback, but this is also space.
Yeah, this means they're committing a bunch to try and bring him down. Meanwhile, 2 lanes have been claimed. Push is just absolutely going crazy. And they're going to head out of the base right now. I almost want to see them keep going with the push, not going to lie. The 40 seconds on Sand King without buyback, you know he doesn't have buyback. I wonder if they could have just kept going and maybe buy travels on the Wind Ranger, TP towards them. Could have been a moment to close out the game, perhaps. Still dead for 20. Of course, gotta respect the PA, I guess. She would have 2 lives in her own base with her buyback being available.
Are we looking at Rapier PA soon, though? Are we at that territory?
She has 8k gold, so she's queuing up the shard and the Aghanim Scepter consume. It's not a fantastic shard game. There's not like absurdly good things to break. There is the value in having that and Aghanim Scepter. You get a ton of damage burst at least. But yeah, I would almost prefer to see him go for a rapier replacement of the SMY or something for the next fight.
So thinking about coming out of the base and maybe mounting up a surprising defense at the T2 tower. The issue is they don't have Elam and Baja, and yeah, with that, I guess Rubicon just wanted to farm a neutral and
Radiant's top tower is
get
under
back to the high ground. So ASAKURA will get the remaining outer tower. The consideration is there. Do we go high ground for the Megas?
Meanwhile, the Medusa is also ready to purchase up a Daedalus from the secret shop. Damage up is crazy with the Aghanim Scepter, of course, proccing on everything.
I think she's running to buy the Rapier on Rubicon. They did see her as well. There was an observer that confirmed at least the location.
He moves
Rapier,
his
there we
Battle
go.
Fury back.
Oh, they missed a spear on Elam.
Wait, what?
He tried to spear Jesu inside the base in arena.
This is awkward for PA, who just came back saying, guys, I'm ready to fight now, but Alan has already spent his stuff.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Now you have to go on Jesu.
Oh yeah, he's the all-in target. 30 seconds on the Aegis. Gonna be long enough to get the mega creeps here. Be going on him.
There's a spear. And there's the damage. Damn, quick succession. A nuke down, but they're going to need to do it a second time. Rubicon's going to use his time to be able to deal with the backline. So Crystal Maiden's gone. Eyes on 7 Jesu. Stone Gaze activated, but the Kite is online with a bar strike over to the left side. Elam, he is away from the team. Rubicon sensing an opportunity to try and deal with the Medusa for the roll. BKB's activated. Snowball to protect him. They've got to keep the Rapier alive as Rubicon. This is the only way they can win this game, but as soon as Rapier drops, that should be over. 7 Jesu, do we want to get it? Anyone want the Rapier?
Just leaving it. There we go. Medusa gets her hand on that. Swaps it in. Ooh, that is a devastating blow. PA did buyback, but now without the Rapier and against the Rapier Medusa, you can't let her hit at all.
Mana's kind of falling, dude.
Yeah.
Is the PA here?
Beastmaster has war. He's ready.
And Koval's got to be ready as well with a snowball to be able to counter that roll. 7 Jesu. So Renata, is there a thought? Chain control before the win run. Roar is there last second. Gives an opportunity for the BKB now with the ATOS. That is it for game 2. They were able to do it 50 minutes, but the comeback was there. ASAKURA will send us to a game 3 decider.
And they brought that game back from the jaws of defeat right there. That game was theirs in the start, and then Impossible managed to take over right when they were supposed to hit their stride on the third skill. People were going for the rhyme stack up. Such a weird mechanic, but yeah.
Prepare for battle.
It's definitely an interesting one. We're at the stage in Dota where it's just like anyone can be tempted to be played as a core, or at least some right-clicking core, I don't know.
Yeah, and almost anyone can be attempted to play as a support, you know, just waiting for 9 class to cook up the next support.
Yeah.
We'll see what hero it's going to be next time. I'm just happy we don't have the support TB anymore, spamming reflection with no cooldown and, you know, completely dumpstering lanes.
Yeah, I don't know. It's so dumb, actually.
But that's fun to me. The whole being creative, finding heroes to play in different roles than they were supposed to, is actually always been one of my favorite things about Dota. I've played Dota for over 20 years, you know, going back early competitive days in Dota 1, back when people were competing for literally like a crate of Coca-Cola cans, you know, or whatever. That was like your tournament prize. Even back then, suddenly, you know, seeing someone put, Terrorblade mid, you know, like doing some weird stuff and finding the benefits of doing some risky strategy has always intrigued me, the risk reward on these wonky strategies.
The level of innovation that is possible in a game like this, I think, is...
It's literally infinite, dude. You can do anything.
I try and think if another esport like rivals Dota, and I can't come up with another one. And maybe that's because I just don't have the understanding I have of Dota compared to like a different esport. So then I'm just not entirely sure. But I still, even with like my base knowledge of like whatever game, I can't see anything rivaling like the complexity of this game and how crazy the levels of innovation can be.
Honestly, as far as esports goes, I think it's difficult to rival Dota when it comes to possibilities and complexity. If you pair those two, right? Like you could say that there are many other games we can come up with crazy strategies, but Dota is just ever evolving, and there's so many things we keep learning. Slark?
What we've learned from this series so far as well is that we only get kills when the horn goes. Like these teams, they want to fight. You see the positioning from Dire as well. This is a super long wraparound.
Yeah, they're actually going for it again. They love to take the fight on this bounty rune. Slark has scouted the front. They now put a ward. Get a glimpse of the alchemist. They don't want to give away bounty runes to the alchemist. They know that, you know, the gold advantage already from the seed money. You don't want to have him get even more with the bounty multiplier. So Ember's gonna try and Sleight of Fist steal one. Can he get it? Oh, he doesn't even go for it. He's playing it chill. They're backstabbing now. Onto the Alk. And block his path if they want to.
Shards? Not too far away.
Not
I think Ellum showed a little bit early out of the trees. I think his positioning was a bit awkward with the summons.
Yeah, Koval just slightly too far away at the same time. But either way, they're gonna force the Alchemist to TP down to bottom lane, same as AA. So if either of them dies right now, that's them without TP. And it's also minus 100 gold, just like that.
Alright, well, let's see how the lane's gonna go. I'm very intrigued on this mid matchup as well. I've not seen it for a while, but I still think this is very DK favored.
It is, yeah. I mean, you got to pull out some crazy moves as Ember to try and win this lane, because you lose your base damage from Breathe Fire, and then DK doesn't really care about your Sleight of Fist harassment, so he should be out farming and out last hitting. But he's going for the Flame Guard, so that's the adaptation that you do as an Ember. If you put a few points in Flame Guard, you can at least bully back the Dragon Knight. That passive region, though, is going to make a big difference.
Top lane, let's see how this one's going to look as well. Did we get, was it Titan Hundwig? Is this the exact same lane as what we saw game one? I don't remember what the off lane was.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it? I think so.
I think so. So,
same.
If the outcome is going to be exactly the same. That was a very early diffusal blade to the Tide not really being able to do anything. But the early lane, there was a lot of pressure onto the Warlock. But that was also the game where we had 5 kills before the game even started. So the experience was something you would not expect in the normal game of Dota.
Yeah, for sure. And for now, Hoodwink doing the best he can, right? In this lane, if you continuously attack into the Slark, you can make it so that it's hard for him to go up and attack your Tidehunter. And that's what we see from Slamia, just doing a great job of dealing damage back to his Slark. But then with the Warlock heal, it becomes a little bit difficult at some point.
Oh, nice time.
Oh, kind of messed up there. Pounce away, gets caught.
I don't.
A grenade.
Looks like he's dead. They might be able to get Slimy out though. Rubicon has to run around the Titan, won't be able to do so.
Yeah. The Fatal Bond's actually going to work against them here a bit. Pushing the creep wave back, so hard for Slark to get any farm. And this is a pretty terrible start to the lane where you want to bully the Tidehunter. Eventually the lanes will start becoming difficult, and with the healing Lotus in the hands of Slark, he should feel pretty confident. Looking at the other lanes, so far the Ember is doing pretty good in terms of farm. He's actually pressuring the Dragon Knight quite a bit, going in with a Flame Guard.
Is he dead?
Stun up under tower. Is he
dead? Baha dead?
Sleight of Fist
gets rid of the
changes
aggro.
the target. TP from the Hoodwink towards mid lane. Gonna catch the Ember, but you can't really kill him by any means. Just a few hits, some pot shots to harass him.
Bit of a weird... Okay, he got Corey delivered. I was going to say, I had no resources from Slimy if he wanted to go back to the lane now, but at least Corey came out with the clarity and another set of tangos.
Yeah, now he's feeling like he has to go back top. The Tidehunter cannot solo lane into a Warlock Slark. That's an impossible lane. And meanwhile, mid. He left mid, so now Tusk is here. Does overcommit on the tower, though. Good reaction by Vanilli. A lot of moves from the supports already. We're only 4 minutes in and already all the supports have shown up mid. Actually, Warlock hasn't. Never mind. Adar is kind of chilling. He's an old man Warlock.
He's doing his best to try and help out Rubicon. The opposite carry 7 Jessu top last sits as well. See... Vanilli's been able to go back and get the D ward of the sentry camp that was blocking the small camp.
I mean, top last it's as an alchemist is a fantastic place to be. He's your flying ahead in net worth. Right now he is sitting 600 gold ahead of the Beastmaster, who's the second highest. He doesn't have the face boots coming out. Channeling the stun, but is he gonna connect? Yeah. He gets it onto the Beastmaster, but he's under tower, completely safe.
So this is usually the important moment with the bottom.
Al could be in danger.
Well, they're going to be able to catch up to Jessu. No, looks like he's fine. They might turn to Vanilli though instead. Mission Apparition's gonna have a difficult time with all the summons and they'll cancel the TP. So the supports, maybe top lane TP was forcibly cancelled. I didn't see. Yeah, I think he used the pounce on Rubicon.
Yeah.
Oh.
That is a big solo kill. Not sure that should happen, but somehow manages to find the Ember. And that's also the awkward part. You picked Ember into DK, and now you get solo killed by him. It's just not really acceptable. Serenata well played though. He is a full level ahead of the Ember. Got that level 6 on the Dragonite.
At least they're going to be able to secure the Arcane Rune for Baja, so we'll shove the full wave in, so it doesn't miss that much, and now, of course, there's the Power Rune to work with as well, so we'll see importantly what he can do with this.
Yeah, should be making a swing down towards the Alchemist and AA. Could maybe find something. He does have boots on the Courier, I think. So, a little bit of a slow rotation, no boots. Alchemist already getting gone on.
Can they get the concoction? No, not able to do so. They have the roar. Okay. Alum uses this one. Vanilli. I mean, this is starting to get to a difficult territory with this bottom lane. They're even bringing the Warlock through the portal as well. Why not? Adar's like, alright, sure, I'm happy to get involved.
Hey, somehow got the Tusk at least, so gets a bit of a return kill. And 2 heroes are going to help each other take the Wisdom Rune top. The Tide and the Hoodwink will scare off the Slark. Can't go alone into those two. So 1-for-1 on the Wisdom. It's going to be Warlock hurtling over to take it. This time, not as many Grimoire charges as the previous Warlock we saw with like 5 at level 2 or something. He now only has 1 single page in this little autobiography he's working on.
How does... Sorry, I was just looking at the innate from the Ember. How does it get leveled up, the damage? What does it level up by?
It's with the Fire Remnant. So with the ulti. Yeah, it's not on the Flame Guard. It's every point you get in your ulti. So it starts at 10 before you have ulti, and when you get 1 point, you have 18 damage.
Yeah, okay. It just didn't say, and I wasn't entirely sure. Oh, levels with, okay. Can't read. It's at the top.
No worries. It's hard. Some tooltips are a bit confusing when you stare at them. It's like where the information is.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Stun onto the Ember, but the rune is bottom anyway. And jump away. Snag up Invis rune. Quite a few stacks being made by the Hoodwink, by the way, preparing for the Tidehunter to go into jungle.
Continuing to look to put a little bit more importance on the mid lane as well. Ada and Koval still sticking around. Slimeyell to try and soak some of the experience.
Yeah, leaving him to get the EXP while the Dragon Knight can farm jungle. Ember does want to get some fighting going. Two supports already grouping with him.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Big priority is the Alchemist. Where is he? And look at him, he's farming a nice juicy stack in the jungle. Farming Boglets and Marsh Mages.
Yummy.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Easy kill on the Ember. Some return tips from the early game 1, game 2.
Yeah, Baha just not off to a good start. 2 levels behind the Dragon Knight now. As a Bushwhack and Dragon Tail combination bring him down. This can fall out of control quickly. The Dragon Knight almost has Blink Dagger already. Item timing difference is going to be pretty big on mid lane, as Ember is pretty far away from having any important item. He has his Orbital Corrosion, yes, but any Mage Slayer or something like that is far away.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Tide farming up jungle. It's going to clear the big camp, and they could stack the Ancient again.
Stack
Can I go
it.
for it? Stack, man! Oh, he's helping with a rune.
Yeah, he's playing his mid for his mid lane. I respect it.
I don't. Be greedy.
Gotta make sure you get it though.
Yeah, it's
Unlucky
not even
down
there.
bottom.
Is under attack.
Bottom rune anyway.
Speaking about the Radiant stacks, Dire making a lot of their own as well with the Beastmaster. So tripled the Hard, I think, and they quarter tripled the Ancients too.
Yeah. They're stacking up a bit. Triple Ancients. Quite a bit of farm to fall back into, but first they're gonna fall forward, look towards the bottom lane.
Structures are fortified.
And Slark through the portal.
He's behind them.
Vanilli might be able to get the Ice Bus off. You're gonna be careful about the chain control. Ravage. What about for the Tidehunter? Rubicon will be able to dance away.
Look at
Koval
DK with
split
the blink.
from the team. A nice position from Serenado. Snowball. It's cute, but it's not going to matter. So, I mean, you bring everyone down to bottom. You see instantly Rubicon back to top. Mid, Baha's going to look to try and shove this out. So, that's not the worst.
It's not the worst, but the AA still has ulti. Hoodwink has ulti. DK has the blink. This is some serious burst coming in. Alum has to be careful not to get caught by this gank.
Radiant's top tower.
He's playing in a very safe area for now, but look at the DK wraparound.
Dire are scanning.
They're gonna find him, I think, if he sticks around.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah, I think they will.
And the range on this bursts. Doesn't matter how far the supports are, they can help. Look at that shit.
Under attack.
Just amazing.
Radiant structures and
That's actually one thing to say about these two. Oh, Slark, you got the Diffu, he's burning down this poor Tidehunter. I think he's fine, right?
Oh.
Just keep walking.
Wandum Ravage? Okay. He's dead.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or?
Is he dead? Is he gonna
Fighting.
kill? Is he living? Is he dying? Okay. He's dying.
Dear God.
Mid lane? Jesu's dying as well?
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
A good turnaround there. I like that Serenata this time didn't just sell the Tidehunter on the offlane. We previously had the same moment, basically, a Tidehunter being run down by a Slark, and they just let him die. The Monkey King didn't try and help out. But this time Serenata on his Dragon Knight is playing a fantastic game. Dominated mid, rotating and ganking the Beastmaster, and then counter ganking top. He's killed every single core already in this game.
See what he can do though to protect the safe lane tower.
Radiant's bottom
What him to
Oh, comes
oh,
the burst.
supports. Alright. They are kind of stuck though.
Yeah.
Slips
Ember
over to the
can
left
catch
side,
both,
but the
maybe.
Ember Oh, with the amp damage, not looking good for them. Yeah, you get the Q kill to the Tusk, but you actually use the Remnant defensively, sort of positioning it maybe with an opportunity to go for Slime, yeah?
Yeah, has to be a bit respectful of the potential for Dragon Knight to join in, but maybe he could have chased down for more there. Gets one kill at least, and that should open up the tower. But yeah, we see the trade-off that you get. You have these two squishy supports in AA and Hoodwink, but you also see the burst that they deliver. You walk up that high ground as Tusky, you just disappear. Hoodwink has ulti and DK is looking for a blink target. He's looking for Warlock.
Gonna find it. Well done.
Yeah.
Good use of the wall.
Not a bad kill to get. Wisdom Rune is spawning soon. We'll see if Slark can move in perhaps to invade and take it. Yes, ulti. Might be more respectful than that though after the previous death. Doesn't look like he goes for it, but that means mid tower is being pressured.
They're gonna need to come up with a response. The Beastmaster's coming from the right. Road to ready along with the Scepter.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
The thing is that Beastmasters, when they get Scepter, it's not really like go time yet. You basically want to get the Blink Dagger as well. You want to get the ability to close distance, otherwise it's not really that strong. People just kite you. But the more time you take to wait, the more this happens. Oh, that is a juicy farm for Jesu. Tons of Ancients going his way.
Massive for him.
Yeah, they take quite a bit of damage. His ulti's just barely gonna regen him up before he ticks out.
Smoke. They've got the Observer Board as well that's going to be able to see both the Hoodwink and the DK. Titus nearby to counter with the Ravage. Ice Blast clumped up. It's perfect. Serenata stays alive through the combo. Beast is here as well, but he showed up to a fight that he cannot turn this.
Dark wants to
They're
go.
still going to try and go for Jesu, but the Chemical Rage on cooldown. He's vulnerable. Serenata tries to do whatever he can, but it's a little bit too late. Jesu's going to go down, but Rubicon, he also will fall. So both the carries getting sent to the grave, and we're not done just yet with a bushwhack from afar. Triple kill from the Tide.
Enormous. And look where they find themselves after that fight. They get all those kills and then straight into the Tormentor as well, conveniently around the corner. I think they have just enough minus armor from the Gush and the Wyrmwrath to take this down without losing anyone. We'll see.
Slime, yo!
Slime,
He's dead.
Slime falls.
Yeah.
Well, he sees a free ticket to base.
Yep.
That means they get that valuable shard as well. They got the shard on AA, in my opinion, definitely the better one of the two. And 60% duration freeze whenever you land the AA ulti is so amazing.
Definitely not a bad one. 6,000 net worth lead they've been able to work up here for ASAKURA. A lot of that is off the back of the Alchemist. But your cores and your support's quite farmed.
Yeah, all of them are getting a decent amount of gold for themselves. It's not just Alchemist having a big net worth lead. He could arguably be a little bit more farmed. He died 3 times in this game, but the rest of his team is really pulling ahead. Like, the Dragon Knight ahead of the Beastmaster is pretty wild to me. This Aghanim Scepter farms so fast for Beast. Beast does have Blink coming out on the Courier, so that will be his go time to try and activate. And Warlock ulti is ready in 30 seconds. Maybe they can congregate and make a move.
So Jesu runs into Ada. Okay. Easy.
Quick and simple takedown. Not too much time invested as well, so Alchemist can go straight back to farming.
Radiant's middle tower.
Bottom lane, they did see both Beastmaster and Tusk with their ward. Thinking maybe they could take a fight when Warlock is dead. Hoodwink setting it up. Just need some help. There it is.
Meanwhile, top as well, yeah. We're going to see the Tide Hunter trying to go through the portal. Is he actually going to be able to make it? Whoa, what?
Alright.
Okay.
I think that he couldn't do it because he got burned all his mana, right? Like, it costs mana to go through, and isn't that mana expended by the end?
I don't
Well,
remember.
actually, I don't know. Maybe the mana is expended immediately. Either way, didn't really get through there. He popped the Lotus and canceled his channel.
A river?
Onto Baha,
It's a
but
bit ambitious.
not quite enough chain stun.
Serenade is coming, but a bit too late, unfortunately. Meanwhile, look at Rubicon's position with a Slark. Trying to intercept anyone from retreating inside the lane. They're going to go through the jungle instead. Slimeow's fine with the haste.
Yeah, Rubicon not gonna find what he wants here, and you know, this is not the first time this Slark is moving in to try and look for something and doesn't really find what he wants. 1, 2, and 1. Definitely not the same game that he had previously on Slark. Still working on his Aghanim Scepter. Tidehunter even gonna walk up and just steal this Satyr from him. Some confidence. Stacks up the Ancients. Farm is looking fantastic for him. He goes for the old standard build that blinked Vladimir's into a Shard. I can understand it. In this game, you're against a Slark and Ember. It's so fantastic to have Shard against Ember. Get some good lockdown.
That it is indeed. 5,000 net worth lead for the boys on Radiant. Oh, Rubicon. Oh, Dark Pact. What?
What?
Huh?
He's stuck.
What?
He's stuck up there. Check it out. He doesn't have a
Where
crawling
is
blade.
he?
That is so... How can he stand there? That doesn't even look like there's enough space for a hero
What?
to the left of that tree. What?
Bottom, Serenado also found the Beastmaster Alum. Has the Raw to use the movement speed, but Slimia was just in range for the Atos, and Dire gives some pretty big kills over to ASAKURA.
Crazy. The cast range on this Rod of Atos with maxed out Scurry now. I really like this build on Hoodwink. Only 1 point in the Acorn shot. Get a pick on the AA at least, so they get something going their way. Otherwise, struggling a bit on the map right now. I don't
Kills
just
potentially.
being
Nice snowball.
impressive. Fortunately, he has the blink to safety on the Tusk, so not gonna get caught out. Otherwise, the DK was thinking about blinking in. So,
It's
DK going for Hurricane Pike in this game after the Mage Slam Blink. I think it's pretty good. Whenever you play against Beastmaster, I really love having some Force Staffs, and against Tusk as well, to get out of the shards. Had this been pre-nerf Force Staff against Pounds, you know, back when you could Force Staff out of Pounds as well, it would have been S tier, but it's still very, very good in this game.
Okay, T2 Tower, how do we feel about the game state currently though? Like 8,000 net worth lead. Do you need to just completely avoid Radiant for the moment, or do you, the way to get back in is by fighting? And yeah, okay, well, we're gonna see a fight more than likely. At least a quick and easy pick off onto the Warlock. Nothing else will happen afterwards, so.
I mean, DK just took the mid tier 2 and there was no way for them to defend. They had a Warlock ulti ready, but still said, nah, we can't fight right now. So this tells you all you need to know about how the mindset is on Aim Possible right now. They are just dodging and waiting for timings. They want BKB on the Beastmaster. They want to get preferably even a BKB on the Slark, but he's a BKB away from a BKB, Harris.
Yeah. Unfortunately, he's not at the stage where he's ready to go.
Datos, he's chasing him. Boom. Got him.
Uh-oh.
Oh no. Is Baha's ISP knocking on his door to, like, sir?
Oh no.
Here you've been using your internet? Illegal? Not a repeat of what we had happen in game 1, please. This is better though. He asked for a second, you know?
Yeah.
In game 1, he just disappeared, and then it took us like 20 minutes before he came back.
Holy. Dude, they have 4 Tumblr toys.
Yeah,
What?
there's a lot of hoppers. Tumbler toy is a really nice item. I mean, one of the best items in the game for sure. It's useful in so many different ways. And it's funny. I like the little sound.
Yeah. It's cool. Yeah, I like it. How do you nerf it? What do you do? Cooldown increase? Like what's
Buff it. Make it better.
puff? Yeah, I'm honest. Okay, I don't care. Like, sure, mobility. I think game makes the game more fun, more active, more things can happen, more plays can be made. Sure. Okay, I'm down. I'm so down, honestly.
How about you make it like this? Double the range of it, okay? But bear with me. Double the range on it. But you take damage for doing it because you like crash land on the ground. Like it hurts.
How much damage?
Say 100, non-lethal.
Ooh, 600 is a massive tumble
It's
story,
almost
though.
like a blink, you know? Like
Yeah, I mean, it's half duration, half distance of blink for.
I mean, it would be very strong even if he gave it 100 mana cost or HP cost. He could probably give it more.
Mid lane?
Ember.
Are they going to be able to get in chain
treatments.
control? That yeah, there's so much, and this is what we brought up in the draft. You pick the Ember into the DK, you know it's a bad matchup, and then you already don't see the other heroes that they can pick into it to provide the extra control.
Yeah, I mean, you were right to question it immediately when you said it. You know, like you asked me what hero they should pick. I wasn't sure. Ember, it was not even on my radar. 10-0 and 5 on the DK. Serenata just having a free game. Catching Alan down bottom. He has a BKB TP if he wants to. He wants to TP without it. Can he do
Oh,
it?
that gets wrong.
Ooh, pretty close. Pretty close. Stun is still gonna haunt him.
It's
gonna land soon. Watch out. It's coming.
Where'd it go? Is it? Where is it?
Where did it
Do you
go?
see it? Oh, there
Oh,
it is.
there it is. It's coming.
That's it.
From behind.
It took ages.
It's not the fastest projectile.
Did they see the smoke? Does it give like vision of the stun target? I don't actually know. I'm just, like,
think it does? Oh no.
Oh, they-
It doesn't matter because they roar an illusion anyway. Oh, that doesn't feel good. That's why you always split up the illusions. The first thing you do when you pick them, you pick the illusion runes, split them, send them different locations because someone's gonna randomly use an ability like that every now and then.
And now
Is
it's
he-
the mental game. He gets there's a voice line. It's not even a tip, and you know, like, dude, they were really up on Serenata, tipping him in game one, and
Oh, yeah.
he and the team looks like they're about to get the last laugh. Serenata, solo kill into Ada.
Yeah.
Beyond
I mean,
godlike.
this is his game. He's just absolutely dumpstering it right now on the Dragon Knight, doing whatever he wants. I love the way he's playing it, and overall the entire team is positioning pretty well to avoid feeding the Slark. Slark who, you know, otherwise could have been ramping out of control, but we didn't see that this game. Even though he laned against the Tidehunter, Rubicon just has not really had any big impact. A lot comes back to the job of Slimeow and Vladik doing well on that offlane.
Radiant are scanning.
Wow. Okay.
He's putting in the fear in them.
Dire's top barracks are under attack.
Beastmaster does have his ulti again.
Tower is under attack.
Kind of hard to go though with the ages on the alchemists. He's ideally the target you want to burst, but can't really bring him down twice. But now they're backing out. Tormentor is up, so we might actually see them just go down, get another shard. See who it's going to be this time. They already have the shard on Tidehunter as well, so this could be the Dragon Knight shard, or you do get the Hoodwing shard between the two of them.
Bad. There's some pretty good options.
I mean, DK shard isn't even terrible. When
Yeah.
they get it. When Slark hits ulti, he's gonna regen a lot, right? But if you put down just an Ice Vortex and put the Fireball down on that, you're kind of offsetting all that HP regen. So it's not terrible to have. It's one of those weird shards that's not really worth buying, but it's still not a bad option. It's just you rather want item progression on this hero.
I think we probably would both agree. You'd probably prefer the Hoodwings, but yeah, you're just mentioning the fact like it's not that bad.
Tower is under
Yeah,
attack.
yeah, I agree. Hoodwink would be nicer to get that burst damage, especially after the buff in the C patch. Boomerang is 25% damage increase.
On onto the ward. We'll get rid of it before Vladik and Serenata are nearby, but
Ember sees
almost
Slime
lost
Meow,
on-
but can't really go on him without help.
Radiant's courier
Doing a
has
great
been
job
killed.
just moving together as a unit on ASAKURA. 20 seconds for Wisdom Rune right now. Ember is in a position to cut creep wave and maybe look to steal if they're not there. But Dragon Knight already running over.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Looks like it might be double Wisdom Rune for the side of Radiant, but the reaction is coming down bottom.
Aegis just expired as well if the fight happens now. Alum?
Yeah, they have to be
gonna get
careful. They have no reinforcement nearby. They're actually drawing like Slark. Cut them off. They know that they were here. But Rubicon, a little bit timid. Not
They're in a
going
lot of trouble. Do they come through the portal? How do you get the extra heroes here for Radiant? Icebox will get the pass through. Seven Jesu wants to jump the backline, but the burst isn't going to be there. This is not good for Radiant. Maybe it's different now with Tide, but the BKB Raw. Elk is in some danger. Koval's going to pop him up in the air, and this is... They had to TP out. They tried to continue to run away, but Slark's position gave them the vision to take the team fight and give them a skirmish that puts them within fighting distance of getting back in this game.
Yeah, it was a little bit of hubris taking the fight without your Dragon Knight. He's the one dominating this game, and he was nowhere close. You don't have a tier 1 tower. He was far away from the Tormentor, or from the gate as well. So, just could not help out his team. Now, catching the Hoodwink. Or sliding away. Couldn't get the hop out though from the Tumbler's toy.
You wanted out of here, didn't you?
Some big takedowns for them. Tons of gold from these kills. Every single kill worth so much gold. Evening out the net worth quite a bit. And this is not too far away from some big power spikes as well. The Beastmaster looking for more.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
The respawns, they're not going to have the Ravage. They're trying to turn towards the Ember. Meanwhile, Rubicon's into the middle, but the Ice Blast does get the connection, but the DK is going to go down. But the buyback's going to be available. 7 Jesu in with a concoction. He should be good for Alum, but can they stop some of the other members from getting away? Koval, the sacrificial lamb here for the toss. They were just... ambitious.
He went to blink over to the high ground, but he misclicked a bit, got the blink penalty, I think, and ended up on the low ground. If you over blink, of course, getting the 20% shorter blink, looked like he just ended up on low ground because of it. But still, massive takedowns. I mean, you lose your Beastmaster and Tusk, but who cares? You killed the Dragon Knight. The unkillable man has finally fallen, giving away 19, almost 2,000 gold for that single kill. And of course, all that gold going towards the Slark. Or, you know, the kill gold, 1,050. Huge injection for him.
It seems like apparently there's still something left in this game. It was getting close to potentially being blown out here from ASAKURA, but it's only an 8,000 lead now.
Well, I was giving them praise for doing a good job running as a unit, and then they stopped doing exactly that. They split up a bit, you know, get greedy, play for the Wisdom Runes, and get punished for it, playing different sides of the map. Their strength is in their 5-man. They're really strong when they go together, and Dragon Knight is, you know, very, very powerful right now. But this gives a chance for Impossible after getting those pickoffs, still having Golem available. They look like they want to group up and take a fight.
See where they want to go though.
Beastmaster is finishing up the Shivas. He says 200 gold, guys, then I'm ready. Not a bad Shivas to get against the Alchemist. Get the heal reduction.
Rush is available. It's the call from Radiant. Do you want to try and take a fight before going to the pit?
Yeah, they're looking for something. They don't want to get caught in the pit. Gonna run into
Those
the
got pretty
tusk.
decent positioning. 4 stuffs to help with the separation. 7 Jesu, though, wants to close the distance. Pretty get there. They should still be able to get him, though. Like, dude, this
What is
Atos
that
range is so dumb.
What? It's so wild. The 300 extra on Atos, which
What?
already is a long range.
Oh, he has the Keen Knight enchantment as well.
Top tower is under attack.
Oh yeah, that's true. He has 135 bonus there, 300 bonus on his facets.
What? Dude, how big is it?
It's absolutely absurd.
What's default? Well, I'd actually... Oh, look, I don't know. If it says.
Default is 1100. So yeah, he gets it up to
Yeah.
1535. Already having 135 passively. I mean, get an ether lens too, and you can do it like 2 screens away.
Bro.
It's absolutely crazy, actually.
It feels like this game, we are waiting for this big Roche fight to be able to tell the tale. Does this give ASAKURA a big lead in ages to be able to close it out, or does it give Impossible an opportunity to be able to claw the net worth lead back to an even position?
Ooh.
This
Smoke it to smoke.
Be the moment.
It is time.
Is under attack.
Grouping up and a little bit ships in the dark, going past each other here
Radiant
to
are
the other
scanning.
sides. Not gonna connect. Both teams have no clue where the other are. They're gonna find out soon as they don't see anyone. They're gonna realize what's up. They're like, oh, they're also in the smoke, guys. Yeah,
See the
there we
midway.
go. ASAKURA have realized what's up, and so have Impossible.
Smoke's gonna... Oh. Vladik actually wants to go. Same with 7 Jasu. Lotus going to
Lotus.
protect it for the roll. This are going to be used. Rubicon wanting to try and steal some essence. They'll trade ultimates. Who is a favorite currently, though? Well, 1 for 1. And now the eyes need to be put on the cause, and if they can turn the tides. It's not enough for the moment for the Slark. And it's time to disengage. In fact, it's Jasu that's looking for the finishing blow. Koval gets the snowball last second, but it's not going to do anything except put himself on a silver platter as well. Jasu, triple kill for the Alchemist. Now, that should be a Roche for them.
Yeah, I like the quick play there with the Tide, just Shivas and blink in to give some vision starting the fight. And then when the Alchemist commits and goes in, the Lotus came from so far away to protect him as well. The AA, he 4-stepped in, I think, for it, to save his Alchemist. And then the Primal Beast, or the Primal Roar went back onto Beastmaster. And there on the fight was pretty tricky.
Dire's courier has
Not an easy game to play right now if you are Baja. You're already struggling against the Ember or the DK stun onto your Ember, but there's an Orchid and a Bloodthorn in the hands of Radiant. Actually, never mind, scratch that. 2 Bloodthorns instead of an Orchid and
damn.
Bloodthorn. This is devastating. Just can't really stay safe. He has a Yule Scepter, so he can dispel once, but with 2 Bloodthorns, you can do it once, and then you get caught when you land.
He's pretty farmed, though. All things
He is.
that can... Yeah, Baja, let's see. I mean, if you get BKB, how he's going to be able to play the fights. Maybe there's some, like, defensive tier 4 neutral item that he can get as well.
Yeah, it's possible.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Possible he'll find a way to stay alive. He's gonna try and cut the creep wave here while Invis. Serenada realizes, he's like, well, hold up. Why is my mid wave gone? With Aegis in hand, Alchemist is eyeing up the high ground push.
Radiant's top tower is under
AA
attack.
isn't there quite, but he can TP on the outpost that they have stolen.
I wonder how you take fight soul and die, because it feels like your Slark wants a long drawn out fight, but the Beast and Warlock are pretty committal with Golem and Raw. You're trying to blow up heroes, and when that's used, you have afterwards.
Maybe it's the genius of the Alchemist pick, you know, to counter the Slark wanting a long fight. Alchemist also wants a long fight.
Vladik, a pretty aggressive jump in the middle. Be zoning them away to buy time to be able to deal with the barracks. Elm's going to be able to find the Raw. Kraken showed off instantly, but they might lose the Tide. He can't pop the Ravage on the dying breath. And now a lot of essence for Rubicon. But the BKB was used for the kill onto the Tide Hunter. So able to fight afterwards, he won't have it. Meanwhile, Ember out of the base and gone. Use of the Bloodthorn gets rid of him. So we're 1 for 1.
1 for 1, but it's an important hero in the Ember, and Dragon Knight's still strong.
Well, I'm still going to try and jump in. Same with Rubicon as well. 2 fights are breaking up. One on the low ground, one on the high ground. With the double buyback from Impossible, this is a big commitment for the defense. Chemical Rage up in a couple seconds from 7 Jesu. Serenada's going to be able to get the force up down to the low ground. That's a nice ice blast for Nilly. Connects onto multiple with a Slark inside the snowball. But he's already used the Shadow Dance. It wasted a little bit of the regen. It doesn't matter though. Slark is still okay. And Jesu's on the run. A blink away. And he will live to tell the tale. A couple of buybacks are needed for the side of Impossible. They still lose their barracks, but they'll stand strong.
Yeah, they stand strong. Fight recap will tell you it was a pretty even fight in terms of gold exchange. Actually, Dyer getting a lot of gold for the kills that he got. But the biggest story, those 2 buybacks, the Warlock and Ember, spending buybacks, and Alchemist still holding on to the Aegis. So they can just rinse and repeat, do this again. When they respawn now, the Golem is going to be on cooldown for just a little bit. You could try and rush and do something immediate with respawn.
Mid lane, Baha. Get the anchor. Oh, what happened with the concoction? Not entirely sure.
Dodge.
Ravage will have to be used though.
He wanted to click it on him, but the Manta disjointed the click, I think.
Oh, that's a dieback on Ember, and it's a dieback on Idar as well. This game is...
Yeah.
Is it just over?
The 2 heroes you wanted to be careful with get caught out, and meanwhile, Slark tries to find a pickoff, but puts himself in danger. That's BKB on cooldown. Already a big win. Might not be over as well.
Lucky he got the BKB off. I think it was just a 0.1 second before the freshly completed Hex from Vladik was used onto the Slark. That could have been game.
Yeah, this is... I mean, this is super rough now. You don't have heroes. You don't have good pushing heroes. They're hitting their racks for now, but they should be going Throne, I feel. I guess they could just go Mega Creeps as well. Play it safe. Ember dead for a full minute, though.
Makers it'll be to stick alive in the DreamLeague qualifiers. They got a glimpse of Vanilla out of the base, but Glimmer... Oh, Shadowblade, actually, not Glimmer.
Yeah, Shadowblade. Every now and then we see it on supports just to counter the Slark who will inevitably go for Nullfire. Just a heads up, trying to counter him. So they got the Mega Creeps and back out cleanly, don't lose anything, and now they're getting on to their own side of the map. Alum is still here.
Okay. TP out?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Pretty boss move. Gets the kill, gets out. Very nice play by Alum, but you need a lot more nice plays to be able to turn this game around now with the situation you're in. Looks like they're heading over for the Tormentor again. They just want to wait for the next Aegis, so nothing else to do.
Who do you want Jesu to give the scepter to? He's got enough gold if he wants it now.
Yeah. Let's see who would be priority. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of the Dragon Knight's Aghanim Scepter, actually. I think maybe Tidehunter? For me, yeah, I think Tidehunter is probably the best one. Get that AoE gush. I'm a big fan of the slow and the extra cast range, effectively, that you get from it. Oh, blinks in, hexes up the Slark, but ambitious. Doesn't really have his team with him.
Yeah, they're starting to funnel into the area. Ravage used over to the left side, but the Slark, but we're going to keep tabs on him. Rubicon, BKB's off and looks to try and run away. Meanwhile, Serenada inside the fight. Slark actually wants to go back in. Protected with a depth shot at the moment. A big start, but Rubicon hasn't got anything defensive left. Good timing out of the Dark Pack, but he will not be able to get away from the concoction. That will continue to chase him down. Ooh. They get him. Slime Yell, Boomerang, cuts away the life. He's got no buyback. And they're looking for the finishing blow, but Alum has something else to say about it. Glimmercate will protect 7 Jesu. Now, as soon as this was used, it's a bit of a beacon onto Vanilla's life. side, but Vanilli, he's fine because the cause, they're into the middle. He's done his job, protect him momentarily, and then give the time for the buyback in for the Tidehunter. 4v2 now.
Yeah, and no Beastmaster, no Slark. All the damage basically is gone. The Ember cannot really deal any threatening damage to a Tidehunter. Husk is back to try and help, but look at the controls.
They
the
got him.
Hex, the Bloodthorns. He does not have a Remnant out. GG gets called. Yeah, at the end of the day. Yeah, Serenada, what a nice redemption game after the tips, or gets to absolutely clobber Impossible. How much of this game goes back to that start though? Picking the Ember into the Dragon Knight, a matchup that is, you know, a little bit questionable. Yes, the Flame Guard allows you to farm on the lane, but